evening and welcome. It is the Steel Toe Evening Show. I just got to the chat here and I was very happy to see some of the things that are showing up. Welcome to the program. I'm Aaron. April will be here shortly. She is just dropping the kids off, and by that I mean just having a big old period. So she will be here in definitely for the second hour and for some of the first hour as well. See, the people who know about the title that we have up there, they know. Thank you to Dennis, by the way, for sending me an email I desperately needed. Thank you to Muttering Jay as well for getting me that. Great. Oh my God, holy shit, this is wonderful. 45 videos. Oh boy, I am loaded up until rapture. Oh boy. So you might have noticed the title of tonight's show and went, "Whoa, what the hell's going on? What does that mean? Who's Michael Sosnowski?" It's the title of the show. You know that guy we've been laughing at, Tony Michaels? Well, much like Shawn Michaels is Paul Michael Hickenbottom, Tony Michaels is also could be, from what I've read, a stage name for Michael Sosnowski. How do I know this? Well, those sick bastards, some of them from Dabblers Anonymous, mostly Muttering Jay and Stut Joe Depot, dug in, and I don't know if Ski Mask Guy has anything to do with this, Ski Mask Collective. I don't know who all to give credit to. I wish I did. I dove into this today. Michael Sosnowski, at one point, was caught selling K2, or Spice, and was busted federally for it. And there are connections to be made between Michael Sosnowski and our Tony Michaels. This is something we plan on diving into tonight. Guys, I don't care if you don't like the people we cover after we're done with our news stories and done talking about stuff. You know, when we get to the part where we laugh at people and make fun of people, you very may well go, "Oh, I don't like this part. It's not my favorite." Guys, I'm telling you, this is so juicy. You can't get this on a soap opera. You can't get this on a daytime drama. This Michael Sosnowski shit is really something. I mean, there's some deep dives. I thought we were going to have a great show tonight with the Tony Michaels stuff just because we found out that Tony Michaels either sold or sells like sheds and carports on the internet to make his money, and that was hilarious to me. But then this K2 thing fell in my lap from these guys, like I said, Muttering Jay, Dennis, Stut Joe, all these people, and holy shit. So it's a very busy night tonight. I don't even want to hang the Tony stuff over your head for overtime. I think we'll probably start it in the 8 o'clock hour, and to get through all of it, we'll probably need overtime. But I at least want to get you guys introduced as the Tony Michaels rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, Chad Zumach also did a show today and mentioned yours truly. Remember last week when he said, "Oh, there's a show, I don't know, they're from Minnesota, and there's a guy and a girl, and I don't know, I think they're married." You know how Tony and Chad both do that thing where they pretend not to know anything while knowing everything because they listen? Now he heard us doing that, and he got very bitchy about it, and now says we're from North Dakota, again, pretending not to know anything about it. I love that Steel Toe has made this much inroads. I love that we decided to turn away from Stuttering John because I believe the air is very crowded in that room. That's a very busy party right now. And we've decided, not that we're not going to check up on John every once in a while, but I love that we've decided to focus more on Tony and Chad because Chad's in the middle of a nervous breakdown, and I love it. But the Tony Michaels stuff is tonight. It's going to be fucking bananas, as they say. Let's go into the chat. Let's talk to you guys. Say some thank yous. Say some hellos. And then we'll get down to business tonight. Lots to talk about. Lots to play around with. You know how I'm kind of like a roller coaster up and down on Alex Stein? Alex Stein's stock with me right now is pretty high. He's made some bangers recently. He's a ballsy guy. You got to respect that. And now that Chrissy Mayer put him in perspective for us, where she said, well, he's like a big kid. You know, he really is that guy. He's just a big kid. You go, okay, that makes a little more sense. I'm in. I'll pay attention. that puts him in the proper perspective. So I'm very excited to get to that as well. Alex D kicking things off tonight says the new intro just does it for me. Well, you can thank Why Do I Podcast for that. And Why Do I Podcast, just making sure he got what April sent him today with the logo. He's actually making a much bigger one. I want to give him a t-shirt for that. Thank you very much for Why Do I Podcast for upping our production value a bit. And then Citizen M wants us to get him something so he can make. So you guys are being very, very generous and very cool. We appreciate that. So Alex D, thank you for the $20 super chat, starting things off tonight. 285 away from that goal. 30 minutes of overtime if we hit it. There's the links in the chat for you. Continuing on here, like the new intro. Aaron, do you need anything specifically for the segment? Thank you, Kinky Loco, but I think I'm loaded up with everything I need. I've got the federal, what was the press release? The Western District of Missouri Department of Justice notice. I've got the shed stuff. I've got Tony Michaels admitting that he went through the federal court system. I've got all that stuff. So, Chicky McNugs. Dude, he's like a mafia guy. He's Tony Michaels, a.k.a. perhaps Michael Sosnowski, a.k.a. Chicky McNugs, a.k.a. Drive In, Drive Out, Drive Through. He's all of it. I'm too excited about it. April is pooping. See, now that's where the name Andrea Sosnowski came from. That's why I didn't understand that name on Friday. I didn't know about, and I didn't know where the ski nickname came from with Tony Michaels. I had no idea about that. And that was apparently from that. So I'm excited. Why Do I Podcast says I'm still waiting for my high-res logo, mister. April says she sent it to you. So I don't know what to tell you there, buddy. So Andrea Sosnowski, obviously a reference to Michael Sosnowski, says, my husband still wants you to cream pie me. Oof. Rupert with $9.99 says, stuck at Camp Ripley for now, snowplow training, stay perky, booby boy. I don't want to be booby boy, but thank you. 280 away from our goal. There's the PayPal and Streamlabs link. If you say fuck PayPal, then use Streamlabs, and even write fuck PayPal in the notice. Patrick says, why would he want to hide his identity with all the quality content he puts out? You'd think he'd want name recognition for all of that, but I guess I was wrong. I just don't belong. Prepare to be dabbled. Yes, I love the Tony Michaels stuff. Well, good. We've got it. He talked about it on today's show. Yes, I am aware of that. We have that clip. It's very exciting. Very exciting. Continuing, Loaded Wrench says too many names. Now people I know get new names. Right. It's very, very confusing. I'm just going to casually mutter all the details of your life while pretending not to know anything, says Triple N. That's Chad Zumach in a nutshell. Thank you, No Pen 15 Fathead with $5 says you look good tonight, Aaron. Wow, I don't even care if that. I'm in such a good mood. I don't care if that's sarcasm. I really appreciate that. 275 away from our goal tonight. So thank you guys. There's the links in the chat if you'd like to chip in that way. Oh boy. All right. So I think we're not caught up with the chat. We're going to catch up with you guys, but I think I've got the promotional groundwork laid for tonight's show. And I've actually made myself tired teasing that stuff because I'm so excited. Some of it I'm just going to be going through with you for the first time. Good. Why Do I Podcast says, oh, I see April's email now. My bad. Okay, good. Kinky Loco says, we were teasing the reveal. Yes, you were. Tiger Lily says, the people yelling the most about politics do it to cover up their shitty lives every time. Yeah, you got to watch out for those people who claim to know everything about politics. They're iffy, man. You gotta be careful of these people. They're usually cretins and creeps and full of shit. They're odd birds. I mean, imagine spending that much of your life focusing on politics and like all of that shit, like just obsessing over like the right and the left and what the progressives are doing. And imagine like thinking that you doing that matters in any way, shape, or form, or like it's shaping the conversation. It's just kind of gross. Max, it doesn't matter what you say about the YouTube content. I'm going to do the show I prepped. I know he's tried telling me I hate it. Now he's trying to tell me he loves it. Max, I can rest your mind at ease. It doesn't matter what you say. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's all right. Look, man, The train has already left the station. We're just here for the ride. Ghislaine says, I like the way you look tonight, Aaron. Well, thank you very much. That's, again, I don't even care if that's sarcastic. I like it. Aaron's description sounds like Ted Cruz. Okay. Triple N says, nice rack, bro, and throws in $10. Appreciate that, pal. Thank you, Triple N. That's very nice of you. 265 away from today's goal. Loaded Wrench says, this is awkward without April. She will be here. Don't you worry. Rain says, very, but better him alone than with his disgusting interns, says Rain. April will be here in about a half hour. Not only that, but also April will be on. I don't know if you guys like this or not. Maybe you're going to enjoy this. April will be on tomorrow. Oz called in sick today. He said he's not feeling well. So April will be in tomorrow. April will probably be in on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning. So it looks like April and I the rest of the week. I wonder how people feel about that. Of course, I told Oz I hope he feels better. And no, why do I podcast? It is not AIDS. Oz does not have AIDS. I assure you, there is no AIDS with Oz. And he is not having another stroke. I promise that as well. All right? Citizen M says, I just bought a boat because Mike David told us to. I listened to a Little Red Bar on the way home when he was live the other night. And, I was just disappointed again. It was just a lot of nothing, unfortunately, for me. But, hey, maybe he's not changing. Maybe I outgrew it. Could be that. Bone CK says, political talk is nothing but gossip and should be treated as such. Yeah, I think Jim Norton said it about sports talk. I feel the same way about political talk. It's all hearsay. It's all just a bunch of bullshit. That's it. Little Lemmy says, are we still going to cover Right On tomorrow? Yeah, we have to cover Right On. I'd like to wait for Oz, but I've been sitting on that for way too long. Way too long. I bet it's AIDS. No, guys, I told you already. I promise it's not AIDS. All right? Just trust me. It's not AIDS. Oz has monkeypox confirmed. No, Oz does not have. There's no monkeypox with AIDS. I promise. K-Fall the Great says, you have April the rest of the week. Did someone take out ad space on her forehead? New boot goofing. Oh, that is just remarkably mean. Citizen M says, I was disappointed too, but now I got a boat. Well, that's true. Nate says, thought you guys were setting up a single shot. We still are. Don't you worry. What's his nut says, I mean, that plan isn't terrible, but is there any way you could ask Johnny to do another day to split up all the April days? If not, no big deal. No, I'd just rather do it this way. I would. It's a me call. Put it that way. Also, I don't want to have to, fuck up people's schedules, make them get up early, April's here for this reason exactly. April's here for the reason of somebody can't go, I can bring April in, we can do a show there. Then you got people like Jesse Kling saying April every day. Well, you got that this week. James says April is making her way to permanent number 2. So methodical. April is better at this job. Thank you. Loaded Wrench says Johnny already has his leg in the door. He's good. Yeah, but he can't feel it. Rupert says, I bet Manscaped would love to rent April's 5-head. Plus, that's great advertisement for when she goes down on you. There you go. Nate says April is the best co-host. Rain says, can you interview Ethan Klein? I strongly agree with his recent views. You son of a bitch. Oh, boy. All right, I finally caught up in the chat. Are we having fun now? Great. 265 away from our goal this evening. Super Chats, membership, Streamlabs, PayPal. The links are right there in the chat. 265 away. Let's knock it down. Like we always say, if it gets under 200 by the top of the hour, we're usually in a good spot. So I have a feeling when we start getting into the Tony Michaels stuff, we're going to need that half hour of overtime. So getting close to the end of the month. If you haven't thrown in $5-10 a month and yet you're able to, go ahead, start tonight. Also, the VIP, we have a VIP update for you. When it comes to the VIP stuff, we've had a couple of sponsors throw in some deal sweeteners, if you will. Now, when you do $250 in 1 week, not only do you get the 3 T-shirts, the 5.5-inch vinyl stickers, the steel toe hoodie, the 2 tickets to every live event we do, the $100 drawing every month automatically entered, You also, if you're from Minnesota, you'll like this part, $25 from Old Capitol Tavern. And if no matter where you live, $25 to Midland Armory and Foley, which you can use online as well. So that becomes the new VIP editions if you feel like doing that. So 265 away from today's goal. There's the links in the chat. Loaded Wrench says, what's the OnlyFans link? Nothing. Nate says, Aaron seems frustrated. What ails you, my friend? Can I tell you this? I'm a little uptight because I'm going to be trying to do a show. And I always like it better when April's here to do the show with me. But I've got this Tony Michaels stuff, and I just want to do that. But I know I can't just do a show of the Tony Michaels stuff because a lot of people will go, it's not my thing. I'm going to leave. So we're going to play some stuff. We're going to bullshit for a while. And somewhere in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to get into the Tony Michaels stuff. Somewhere in the next 45 minutes to an hour, we will get in to the Tony Michaels stuff. I want to start tonight with a couple of short videos. One of them, Alex Stein. I guess Alex Stein had a live event this weekend at Penn State. And one thing Alex does, because he's insane, is he goes out into his crowd of protesters and he interacts with them. The people who hate him. Now, I don't know why you would protest an Alex Stein event. I mean, Alex is like he's a guy who goes and goofs on city council meetings. He does wacky man on the street bits. Like, I don't see Alex Stein as like a political commentator who's going out there and saying all kinds of crazy shit and offensive stuff. Alex is, I think the best word for it, Alex is a goofball. And I don't understand why Alex, the goofball, is a guy that really needs to be protested unless college kids just get bored and they need something to go out and yell about, which, of course, could very well be true. But Alex Stein was at Penn State for some kind of live event. Maybe he was going to watch my Gophers get crucified. I don't know. But one lady was really not a fan of his and decided to do the following.
You're my favorite.
Fuck you. You are the reason I can't feel safe.
You are the reason I can't feel safe in this town, she said. This guy. Does she accidentally think he's Tucker Carlson? Like, I don't understand why you would look at Alex Stein and go, you're the reason I can't feel safe in this town. Ma'am, I'm pretty sure he'd let you beat him up. I don't think you have to worry about feeling unsafe around Alex Stein. And like, this girl's got like an anti-fascist hat on and they're all holding signs. And this guy's definitely, look, I'm just saying, if you look into his record, that's not a stable fella. I'm going to stay away from any actionable things that I could say. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if there were some red marks on the record, if you will. But you have like people getting unhinged and losing it, and Alex Stein sitting there laughing and giggling. Like, say what you want about these guys who do like more pointed political commentary or are seen as more serious than Alex Stein. They don't do this shit. Alex has zero regard for his own safety, and I think that part is admirable. You know, he may be grating sometimes. He may be a little obnoxious sometimes. Whatever, I agree. But the guy's got giant fucking balls. And I don't know if he's got giant balls because he's just brave or if he's got giant balls because he's just like little kid naive and just wanders out into dangerous scenarios without even knowing he's in danger. But anyway, he's being confronted by this beautiful young lady. I mean, she is just a sweetheart. And she just came from actually the Crowder Change My Mind argument. So she's had a very busy day. Forgive her. She's a bit cranky.
You are the reason I can't feel safe. You are the fucking reason we're all here today. You are the fucking
Thank you for coming.
Is there anything more embarrassing also than trying to get a chant going like this girl is and nobody chiming in with you? You know how annoying you have to be at a group of really worked up people to try and get a chant going and they just go, shut the fuck up. That's not what we're here for. This guy's just trying to get some camera time.
Thank y'all for buying tickets. Oh, I love you. I love you. I think you're a really nice woman.
Oh, when we run out of our words. When we run out of words, we turn to spit. Now, Alex, I don't know if you'll ever see this, but buddy, I would get a tetanus shot. I would get any kind of inoculations that you need to get because I don't know where this has been, but it's nowhere stable. So at least have that spit tested. And ma'am, drink a little water that's very white and stringy. That's a sign of the dehydration. Somebody bring her a fucking water and tell her to chill.
Hey, luckily I like that fetish. She does that turns me on. Now she turned me on. How am I going to speak?
So there's Alex. He gets spit on. He tells her it's part of his fetish. Somebody makes a tiny penis joke. And I'm telling you guys, you can find him overbearing. You can find him a bit rich, if a bit much. It's all fine. But at the same time, that takes a lot of fucking guts to just go in there and just walk through your crowd of protesters and just start, like, in a weird way, just start hanging out with them and talking to them and letting them go nuts. Now, I don't know what Alex gets out of this because, in my opinion, what are you going to do? Prove that these people are crazy? We already knew that they're crazy. Like, nothing they're going to do when you go out there is going to sway us one way or the other. This has been established. They're at a fucking Alex Stein event when they're college kids on campus. They should be out drinking and whoring and all kinds of other things. They chose to come to a Alex Stein thing instead. So we know these people are unhinged. And then she spits on you. She's violent. I get that. Again, not something that's beyond the pale for people who would go to an Alex Stein rally. James says, I don't see why protest Matt Walsh. He just wants to know what a woman is. I'll tell you why. Because Matt Walsh can absolutely be a cunt. I don't like or dislike Matt Walsh, but I've seen some of his stuff, and there are kind of like, he does a lot of gotcha arguments and trolley arguments. He's one of those guys that dumb people want to repeat to sound smart. And Matt Walsh is not my cup of tea. See, now Grow Shadow says that was staged. I don't know. Does he need to stage that shit? I don't think he needs to stage that shit. Josh Denny, fucking relax, buddy. Lemmy's having trouble with her OBS. Am I going to fire your employee? Look, man, I appreciate the bit. I appreciate what you're trying to do. It's a very funny bit, but you need to learn when to give it a rest, because I like to do a segment. I like to go hang out with the chat. The bit's kind of running dry, if you will, so just kind of sit the next couple of plays out. That's all. Sandy Squatch says, ever seen Caitlin Bennett? She goes to colleges and stuff and tries to teach people the truth. Is she the gun chick? Yeah, let's stop pretending that she's not a thing because she's an attractive gun chick. There's too many, Republicans have too many gimmicks. Republicans have a lot of, token tickets that they'll hand out to people. Like, they'll put them at the front of the line because they're like an oddity, like a unicorn. Like, oh, we have a trans person, Blair White. Well, the liberals think that they own transness. So look, we're going to put her to the front of the line. Blair White's embarrassing. She doesn't have any decent points to make. If she had to still be a he'd be a nobody. So stop. Like, every time the Republicans are called like racist or transphobic, they turn like a black person into a token. And it's like, guys, this isn't helping the whole you're a bunch of racist thing. Because you guys get one black friend and you go, make him the most famous thing ever. Put him up there so we can't be criticized. I hate that shit. Caitlin Bennett's the same way. There's 5 million other people you could pick that are into guns that could go speak about guns. But because she's got tits and she's pretty, put her to the front of the line. You know, this is the same party that believes, this is why I could never be a Republican. Like, Democrats may be awful, but I could never be either of them. Because Republicans do this thing where they're like, oh, we believe in meritocracy. No affirmative action here. That's bullshit. And then, oh, a trans person, front of the line. Oh, a black woman who used to run a doxing website. Go ahead, Candace Owens. You're our new superstar. Hey, America first. Oh, a Jewish guy who wants to give billions to Israel and fight all their wars for him. Go ahead, Ben Shapiro. Go to the front of the line. You're a Jewish guy. You're one of, hey, look, guys, we have a Jewish guy. Like, Republicans' tokenism is kind of gross to me, too. So I could never really be one of them. Why Dad says she ain't no good girl. She spits, not swallows. Yes. It's those things. that you have to notice. Like Rolling Stone says, that's the most liquid a man has made her discharge in a long time. Oh. In Pennsylvania, spitting on someone is considered assault. Spitting at them but not hitting them is also a crime. Very interesting. White Hat says, why did that dude spit on him? Oh, boy. Triple N says, I think he feels like he has to do something. The problem is I'm not sure there's anything you can do. I guess. Zen Rhino says, Matt Walsh, just like Ben Shapiro, used to be a never Trumper until they realized they could grift off MAGA people. In 2016, he said he'd vote for any candidate who would deport all Trump supporters. Oh, did he say that? Yeah, then Trump won, and then he realized he had to make a living for the rest of the next 4 years. I get it. Zen Rhino says, Lady Mega, Blair White, the Hodge twins, and that other gay black dude that hangs out with Charlie Kirk. Yeah, right. I mean, if you just have... Republicans are so against identity politics until they get an identity they can politic off of. Aren't they the best? I just love that consistency. Did you see the Wisconsin volleyball team that won then took a topless picture? Oh, did they? I'll look into it. Thank you to Kinky Loco with $2. Says, congrats, Dabblers Anonymous, on hitting 5,000 subs. Skol. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations. The Dabblers Anonymous subreddit is now over 5,000 people following it. So that is very cool. No, April did not quit the show. She will be here in about 15 or 20 minutes. 265 away from tonight's goal. If you feel like chipping in, please do. There's the link to Streamlabs and PayPal. Of course, Super Chats and memberships count as well. 265 away from tonight's goal. King Yeti says, fun theory, Charlie Kirk is Tom McDonald's ghostwriter. I thought the way Tom McDonald made songs, I would have definitely thought that Tom McDonald's ghostwriter was some 62-year-old boomer on Facebook. I would have thought that they were writing the lyrics. Loaded Wrench says she's meeting with a divorce lawyer. Yes, that is what April's doing right now. Welcome, Marcus. April is on a BBC run. Oh, okay, so that's all right. So we're going racial now. There's all the theories. Every Monday, April's here at 7:45, 7:50. Every Monday, she's taking a shit. She's getting a divorce. She's meeting up with black men. Same thing. Every Monday. And every Monday, it's the same deal. Crowder is probably Tom McDonald's ghostwriter, says Triple N. That's a good point. That could be it. Little Lemmy with $2 says, keep my OBS issues out your fucking mouth. She has spoken. High Main says she's taking an upper decker. Exactly. Yeah. Why Do I Podcast says she's conspiring with Chicky McNugs. See, you cannot stop the theories on Monday, no matter what. But April is dropping the children off. She will be here very, very soon. I promise she is not taking a shit. I promise she is not having sex with a dark-skinned gentleman. And I promise, April says, maybe I've been abducted. You don't know. Oh, so now all those people just abduct people. I see. So they're like animals. They just kind of take them away. I see. King Yeti says, can't be Crowder. He has no talents. Have you heard a Tom McDonald song? They're not exactly written by people who have a whole lot of, hip-hop gift. A lot of hip-hop grift, not a lot of hip-hop gift. Nate says, can April get her pay docked? We'll discuss it. Marcus says April is teaming with Tony Michaels and DSP to overthrow Aaron. I'm glad you guys know about this stuff so I can get a heads up. Standalone Cakecorn says on this show, a late woman always equals whore. Fair. Loaded Wrench says pretty good show to be listening to from the trunk of a Cadillac. John Tard's Dark Brandon shirt with $4.99 says Tony McNugs. Calling dabblers cucks seems like traumatic prison projections, just saying. I think we are about 30 to 45 minutes away from all of the Tony Michaels stuff, don't you? Because I know that a lot of you are here and you can't wait, and we're going to have to deep dive into it. Do me a favor. Let's all band together and knock out that goal, and then I won't have to worry about stopping all the Tony Michaels stuff to address it, because once I start deep diving with the Tony Michaels stuff, probably going to need overtime to get through it all. Aaron has a stable ego. Wow, it's very nice. Dennis Michaels says Chicky McNugs, more like Chicky McDrugs. We will get there. We will get there. Would you guys like to hear the President of the United States? Such a motivational guy. I don't know about you guys, but it's nice to have the adults in charge now. You know, it's nice to have a guy in there who knows his shit, who knows how to say things properly and doesn't stumble and fumble and fuck things up and forget shit and all that stuff. I give you case A of Joe Biden being the adult in the room. You know, I'm tired of all these people who want to run their mouths about guns and they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know the terminology. They don't know what everything is. So let's go to Joe Biden so he can set the record straight on his plans for firearms. Here you go.
My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round, okay?
Did you not? Seems pretty easy to understand to me. How about all of you? Do you need to hear it again? Because, I mean, in a country where we have rampant gun crime, I mean, it's just nice to see that someone's working on a problem. I was worried about all these bullets that were coming out and around, because that can hurt a lot of people. You know, it's like a Hydra head coming at you. All these bullets in just one round. And now we have a president who's finally going to get to this issue. You know, I've heard people talk about mental health. I've heard about people talk about an assault weapons ban. I like that someone is finally getting to the issue of how many bullets there are in each one of these rounds. Thank God for Joe Biden and the adults being in charge. One more time, Joe, for the people in the back so they understand it.
My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round, okay?
And to me, the reason I agree with that so much is, who needs more than 8 bullets in a round? I didn't laugh. You laughed. Who needs more than 8 bullets in a round? Not me. You don't need that many bullets in a round. If you can't get more than 4 bullets out of a round, I don't know what to tell you. You're in the wrong country.
My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round.
By the way, is he, and maybe it's because I watched Hannibal recently, is he turning into Mason Verger in front of our eyes? Like, is his skin getting sucked back and his lips going away and his eyes starting to get really weird and protrudy? Something going on with Joe Biden. I mean, I know it's called decomposing right in front of our eyes, but God, I just didn't realize how uncomfortable it would be, you know, to just continue watching it. Ugh, yuck. Sorry, guys. Can't do it. Michael Sosnowski says, don't be such a cuck and cream pie my wife. Oh, hello, Michael. Michael McNugs. Great to see you, pal. Marcus says we should be goddamned ashamed of ourselves for bashing someone who can't defend themselves. Cowards, I say, cowards. Why Do I Podcast says, I'm poor. I will pay in graphics and intros and shit like that. Nonsense, Why Do I Podcast? You are a member. You have contributed to this show. You are A-okay, as far as I'm concerned. Little Lemmy says, don't forget to smash that like button right now into the fucking ground. Good point. Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and click the bell to get notifications. That like button is awesome. Rupert says, come on, Pores. We all need to get Booby Boy some overtime. It's actually very, very offensive that you would say something like that, Rupert. That hurt my feelings, and I hope you're sorry. $250 away from today's goal. And thank you to Dennis for the $5. So incredibly helpful is Dennis. A real helpful dude. Let's see what the people thought about Joe Biden's bullets in a round thing. I'm really hoping you guys are pro helping this country out in these gun control matters. You get 8 bullets in a round. Got it? No. He wants less than 8 bullets in a round. Flex says that's a big fucking bullet. No, I believe they're small bullets and they're big rounds. I think that's what he means. They're calling them cluster rounds. Yes. He wants to ban snake shot and bird shot, says John. Right? Exactly. He said 8 bullets a round. Yes, I know. Don't you want to solve the problem of all these bullets that are in a round? Just surprised we have so many people who are dragging their feet on this gun control issue. Actually, you know what? I'm not surprised. Here in Trump's America, Why Do I Podcast says, I put all my bullets in my rounds. Well, look, you guys want to be defiant, I guess. King Yeti says, I use the Mason Verger reference all the time. That's good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that the president has a very Mason Verger-esque appearance. P.A. Cheddar says, 1 bullet equals 1 round. Not hard to understand. Hey, the president says no more than 8 bullets in 1 round. So as long as you stick to that, we're good. Finally, some gun control all of us Americans can agree on. Less than 8 bullets in a round. I think we can all agree. Oh, he's so fucking stupid. Exactly 6 million says, any Chad stuff tonight? No, we've got Chad stuff tomorrow. Chad went off and went rambling again, but we have it for tomorrow. A lot of Tony Michaels stuff tonight. Aaron reminds me of Froggy from Little Rascals. That hurts my feelings. I don't want to be Froggy. I want to be Buckwheat. Brian says, Aaron, YouTube isn't notifying subscribers about your channel. Well, then I tell you what. Do this again.
Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and click the bell to get notifications.
I don't know what else to tell you. Hey, we're on at the same time every day and every night, so you can always do that. Thank you to Marquise with $5. He says, for Booby Boy. Oh, thanks, buddy. I love being Booby Boy. 245 away from our goal tonight. Let's see if we can't knock that under 200 by the top of the hour. There's the PayPal and the Streamlabs. Go ahead and chip in there. It takes less than 5%. YouTube taking 30, so we get a big chunk of either way you decide to go. Mitch McConnell looks and sounds like Mason Verger, they're saying. Well, a lot of people are reminding people of Mason Verger. I just like to keep the guy's name in the zeitgeist. Loaded Wrench says he was asleep when he said that. There was a clip we played last night that may indicate that the president fell asleep during a major interview, and that's really something else, man. I mean, to fall asleep during an interview, that's bad if you're like the manager of a Target, let alone the president of the United States. Any Stuttering John tonight? No Stuttering John. We only focus on one of these guys at a time, and tonight it's a Tony Michaels night. The YouTube will only send out notifications for 3 videos in a 24-hour period if it goes. Over, then the notices stop. Oh, well, there you go. We did the members only show. We did the Ethan Klein clip. We did our morning show. We did DSP today. So they didn't send the notifications for tonight's show. There you go. That makes sense. There you go. So, hey, we're all caught up. At least you guys know now. And now I know as well, so I can use that the next time people bring it up. Let's get into a couple of news and notes, and then when April gets here, we'll dive into Chicky McDrugs, Tony Michaels, or is he Michael Sosnowski? Who knows? Who knows who the man is? 245 away from tonight's goal. There's all the links in the chat. British Airways passenger reportedly stripped from their waist down, defecated on the floor of a plane, and then smeared himself in their own feces before charging at other passengers and wiping the excrement over the carpets and curtains in the cabin. I thought they already put my dad on a no-fly list. He should stop. He never does. The horrifying incident allegedly occurred while passengers were still boarding a British Airways-operated Boeing 777 aircraft at London Heathrow Airport on the BA-75 service bound for Lagos in Nigeria on the 7th of October. Oh, I see. He was just getting used to the locals to where he was going. So you shit on the floor. Okay. I mean, it's a little racist if you ask me, but I mean, it's an effort. British Airways has seemingly confirmed the nauseating episode, with a spokesperson saying that the airline has apologized to passengers after the flight was delayed so that a new plane could be found while a contaminated cabin was deep cleaned. Rumors of the sickening incident started to spread last week after a leaked copy of what appears to be the aircraft maintenance log explaining what had happened started to go viral on social media. But if that sounds bad enough, things quickly got even worse. It said, during boarding, passengers stripped from the waist down and defecated on rear galley floor. He sat in it and rubbed it into galley floor and aisle carpets. He walked in it and started running up aisles. He smeared his arms from hands to elbow in fecal matter and aggressively ran at other passengers, flicking fecal matter around and up door 4 over seats as he went. What the fuck? The carpets were severely contaminated, as were the curtains, and a deep clean was required. We apologize to our customers for the delay to their flight and arranged for an alternative aircraft to allow them to continue their journey, the statement read. I'm actually going to puke. Usually I can handle any kind of story, but I'm really worried that one might actually make me vomit. How much, I have to ask you this. If he was able to smear it from arm to elbow to hand and everything else on each arm, on each hand, how big and how runny of a shit did this guy take? Like, I mean, even if you take like a really bad shit, I mean, smearing it all over and then flinging it like, remember in the movie Slammin' Salmon, where Connor fills his pants with coleslaw and then kicks at the door, and then out of the leg of his jeans, a giant coleslaw splotch just hits the window? I just imagine that, but with shit. So how big of a shit do you have to take in order to, and no, Triple N, I don't believe they actually call that a Nigerian shower. I don't believe that that's actually the name for it. And I actually think that might be racist. Just Raymond Bryant says you should see my apartment. What if I'd rather not? I don't like how comfortable all of you are sharing all of your shit stories. I don't like that more of you can relate to this guy than I thought we're going to. I'm really starting to regret bringing any of this up to any of you. William, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that, buddy. 245 away from tonight's goal. There's the Streamlabs and PayPal if you'd like to contribute that way and knock down that goal. In the next 18 minutes, we'd like to be under 200. Then hopefully during our little offering plate segment, we can knock out the rest of our goal tonight. So if you feel like chipping in, please do. If you feel like becoming a VIP, you can do that as well. Rex Dart says, threw it like a Street Fighter fireball. You see all of these visuals? I wasn't prepared for them. Joey says, Tony is going to find us a whole mess of fake weed. We can get naked and shit on the walls. I really don't know if that's something you should be aiming for. That's all. As a plumber, shit happens, says, fuck you, dude. Cliff F says, I guess the plane ran out of toilet paper. It doesn't sound like this guy was trying to make it. It didn't sound like he was too concerned with that part. Rupert says, the second best Litchfield graduate has arrived, the first being my old man. There we go. People are saying that April took a 40-minute shit.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Raymond says, I want to be a VIP. Well, that's up to you, buddy. If you want to chuck $250 at PayPal or Streamlabs and get all of our merch and get entered in a $100 drawing every single month forever and ever and all that stuff, you are more than welcome to do that. $250 in 1 week makes you a VIP. April brought beers, everyone.
I did. I figured we could use it tonight.
Ooh, we're going to have some beers on the show.
Just so you all know, I'd rather be with you than shitting. Just so you know.
Oh, God damn. That's like the sweetest thing any of us have ever said to these people.
It always happens on Mondays.
Nate's good. He writes, April seems stressed.
You are good. You know what? That is on point tonight.
Well, what gave you the idea? The fact that she brought 4 beers down here all at once?
All at once, yeah. I put koozies on the ones that are the second.
Is that what gave it away, that she might be a little stressed? I'm actually fine. The reason April's stressed is the reason I'm so fine and so proud of April over here. April did something that she's not used to doing today, and she was very nervous about doing something that she's not used to doing today. But I was very proud of her for doing that thing. I think a lot of people get stressed out when they stray away from their norm and move out of their comfort zone, even if their comfort zone is a bad place to be.
Sure.
So I'm very proud of you today. So I hope that you aren't so nervous and worried, because I'm very proud of you.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
I'll tell you a couple things you could do. All right. Let's hope that we knock out that goal tonight. I hope, I don't want to get nervous about that, but I also want to really lean in to this Tony Michaels stuff. Did you hear the
I
setup?
know. I'm excited. Yeah, I did. I'm excited.
I think I'm going to need 45 minutes to an hour to get through all of the Tony Michaels stuff. So I think I might start at about 8:15. I just want to make sure we knock out enough of that goal for it to, for it not. I really don't want to interrupt Tony Michaels shit with, excuse me, alms for the poor. Can we hit our goal tonight? I don't want to do that because I want to cut it out in one big chunk. I want to put it up as a clip and all of that stuff. So,
of all the things too that I would have maybe guessed Tony Michaels was into, it wasn't that. You know what I mean?
Right. I would have thought
guessed.
Total nerd.
Definitely total nerd. Definitely not any guy into illegal stuff.
I would have thought foot fetish for sure.
Ooh.
Maybe his woman's a feeder. Like, I just don't see the guy doing the drive-through video. I don't see drive-in, drive-out, drive-through being a drug kingpin. You know?
Not even close.
I don't see him being fucking Heisenberg of the K2 market. Say my name.
Giving him a bit of credit.
Sosnowski, you're goddamn right. I just don't see that being the case.
No.
I just don't see Tony Michaels operating a Los Pollos Hermanos and like running trucks and shit. I don't understand.
Maybe that's why he goes to McDonald's all the time. That's like his front. He runs it through McDonald's.
Okay. Well, hopefully that part of his life is behind him.
Maybe.
For old Tony Michaels. But again, not to give you guys the big tease, but we're going to get to him in about 20 to 30 minutes here.
Not only like, damn it. Yeah, I wish you'd stop bringing it up because now I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about how gross it is that he can't just be a normal weed dealer. He's got to deal fake K2 spice shit, which kills people. Ugh. That's not okay.
All right, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and chip in towards that goal. We are, like we said, we like to be under 200 by the halfway point. Then we don't have to, kind of push it on you guys. I hate doing that. But, of course, I brought everybody with me from radio and decided to be Mr. Savior, so now I got a bunch of money I need to raise to keep everybody. Thank you to Pen 15 Flathead with $2. Says, you look good tonight, April. There you go.
Really? Thank you.
Don't forget, the Streamlabs and the PayPal is up there as well, and we take a bigger chunk of that, and it knocks down the goal a little bit faster, so thank you. All right, we have to continue on. We have to knock out some of these stories because I got to do some of the quick hitters, keep up on the goal stuff, and then Tony Michaels. I'm sorry that this seems so different and I seem so anxious.
You are.
But I usually don't have these big deep dives I want to do. These don't come along very often. And I also got to balance the business end of shit with my willingness to just want to lean in and deep dive. We got off to a great start tonight, this morning. I'm sorry. You guys are $25 ahead for tomorrow.
Very cool.
I may actually throw that into the evening show tonight just so I can rest easy. As a matter of fact, let's do that right now. 220 away from tonight's goal. I'm going to borrow from the morning show tomorrow because, again, I have way too much I want to do tonight, and I want to make sure we knock that out. So hopefully that helps my stress.
Yes, let the man get to his stuff.
A little bit. Here we go. All right, news, and then we will do the Tony Michaels stuff. New York City has renamed monkeypox MPV because they've rebranded monkeypox because they thought that monkeypox was offensive to gay people. I'm sorry, but monkeypox can't be offensive to gay people. It's just something gay people get.
Isn't that something? You're making it more, like, that's not racist, I guess, but you're making it more, what is the word when it's against gay people?
A stigma, a bias.
You're stigmatizing this thing more than anyone else would have.
Right, like none of us were like, oh, God, you're monkeypox, you fucking gay. We just all kind of went, yeah, it's something gay people get when they have eightsomes. Like, it's just like doesn't really affect me very much. So
I've kind of said from the word go, like if you would have just said, hey guys, let's, tone down the promiscuous sex and protect our gay people for a little bit, that would have been fine.
But now instead they're like, I know what the problem with monkeypox is. We call it monkeypox, and that's mean to the gays. It's like, wait, what? No, that's not how. It's not how any of this works, as a matter of fact.
That's also not who I thought that word was mean to.
No, I thought it was more like, certain people would maybe think it was offensive to certain people. Put it that way.
Yes, not the gays.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the $20, Greg, over there on PayPal. And Raymond, thanks for the $5 super chat. So there we go, guys. We've knocked it under 200 by the halfway point. That is huge. That helps me breathe a big sigh of relief.
Thank you.
We go on a little run there. I always say if we're under 150 by the time we do the offering plate segment in an hour and 5 minutes, I think we're good. So they've rebranded it MPV. That doesn't matter. I mean, if changing it to MPV made you less likely to catch it if you fucked 8 guys in a night, then okay, you can change it to MPV. But all MPV does is it goes, hey, look, we're doing something. I thought the Not the Bee had a great point about this once. They said monkeypox was all over the news. Mm-hmm. It was like the next big pandemic. Everyone was real worried about it. Then we found out that it was pretty much just a gay thing. And they held that under their hat as long as they could without saying it, even after we all knew. Then kids got it and dogs got it, and the news went, quit fucking covering it.
Don't talk about it.
This is going to bring... You think the stuff Kanye's saying about Jews shook people up because, some of it a lot of people have said?
It's spicy.
If you would have saw a lot of kids, if the media would have kept covering monkeypox and saw teenage boys getting it, then you would have had to talk about some things that often isn't talked about when we discuss the LGBTQ community.
Oh, yeah.
That tends to be an inside issue that should probably get addressed.
It's basically the elephant in the room.
Right.
People know about it.
So they had to cut that shit off at the quick. That's for sure.
Well, Jesus Christ, changing monkeypox to MPV doesn't change anything about the disease. It doesn't change how it spreads or any of that. So it's just another menial, I'm helping social thing.
Yeah.
We've got too much of that going on right now.
I want to hear their logic, though, about the about it being stigmatizing towards gay people. I feel like gay people have stigmatized monkeypox more than monkeypox has stigmatized gay people.
Kind of. It's it's not something that's intentionally insulting gay people.
Right.
It just happens to run in those circles, and we've got to protect people.
It's just something you
For
guys get.
God's sakes.
Monkeypox is more exclusive to the gay community than AIDS was. Because AIDS people were still getting in transfusions and, drug use and shit like that. Monkeypox is more exclusive to LGBTQ people than AIDS ever was. So it's not like it's an insult. It's just the way it goes. And I think Evan had a very funny line. He says, he does, not Cheap Trick. Oh, God. Money for Nothing. Who was that? God, fuck. Money for Nothing. Dire Straits. He goes, I want my MPV. Love it. The previous name this is from the New York Department of Health. Okay. The previous name is an inaccurate and stigmatizing label for a virus that is primarily affecting a community that has already suffered a long history of bigotry. It's not like straight people are running around yelling the gay F word and then injecting gay people with monkeypox. We're trying to tell you guys how to stop getting it, and you fucking refuse, right? Yeah. Although that does sound like an accusation Jussie Smollett would make.
That would be very funny, in a way.
Or Bubba Watson, I don't know.
Ugh.
Stigma is a shadow affliction that can follow viruses and drive people away from care. How about the embarrassment that if you go to the doctor with monkeypox, the doctor's going to be like, oh, God, this guy was at a blow bang last night. Well,
how about the fact that, no offense, even if your doctor's thinking that, they're not going to say that to you?
Right.
That's the whole thing about doctors is they're not supposed to be judgmental per se. They're just supposed to treat you.
We're actually going to change people coming to the doctor with a light bulb in their ass to the anus having a good idea. That's what we're going to start calling it. We don't want to stigmatize anybody. The department requested the World Health Organization change the name and continues to urge global health authorities to make this modification universal. This is amazing. They would rather change the name to quote-unquote protect gay people before they would tell gay people, hey, fucking cool it, guys. Just chill out.
Relax.
Just take her easy and don't fuck each other so much. Or, like I've said, the solution to monkeypox, pick one butthole for 30 days and we can knock this thing out.
That's kind of what I've thought too. You basically have to shut most operations down for a few weeks and then it's just over.
That's it.
So we could have been done talking about it by now.
We could have been done talking about monkeypox if you just could have stopped butt fucking your dog and...
Yeah, the poor Italian greyhounds
Yeah.
got warts on their ass or sores or whatever.
Those Italian greyhounds got warts and sores on their ass. Come on. How'd they get... Who put the warts there, Joe? I'm sorry.
These poor dogs. Italian greyhounds are already fucked up and skittish as is.
Yeah. Marcus says, what if I want more than one asshole? Can you wait 30 days for me?
It doesn't seem unreasonable. That's all we're asking. A little patience.
Citizen M says, this is not at all how you're describing it. What do you mean? What, monkeypox just happens when you, sit on the wrong seat on the subway? What am I getting wrong?
You actually get it from toilet seats.
Oh. Evan says, even you tell a gay to cool it. They will. You tell a gay to chill it. They will sit on ice until it's numb, then keep trucking.
Yeah, if you freeze the sores, do they still hurt?
Peter says the hole is way better than the homeless dude. Oh, he means you. You're the hole, remember?
Okay.
Old Opie and Anthony fans like me don't remember what the term hole meant, and they just use it to mean girl.
Who's homeless then? Which one of us is homeless?
I think Corey's the homeless guy.
Okay.
But a lot of old O&A fans, I always have to re-educate them on the term hole. Guys, a hole was the woman on a radio show who went, "Aw, guys, don't say that. Don't talk about that." That's what a hole is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, guys, it's
yuck.
not just a girl
The usual.
on a show. Come on. If you're a true O&A fan, you should know that. Okay? April is not a hole. She brings something to the show. That's
I bring my hole to the show.
You bring your hole to the program. All right, couple more things, and then we're going to deep dive into Tony Michaels, a.k.a. the title of tonight's show. Who is Michael Sosnowski? We're going to dive into it.
Kingpin Tony.
Hey,
like
it's Kingpin Tony. Oh, hey, it's old Tony Spices.
Oh.
Hey, what fucking Tony Spices here. All right, 195 away from our goal tonight. There's PayPal and Streamlabs if you'd like to chip in that way. Okay, let's knock that down. We're looking good. I think if we're within 150 by 8:55, I think we're looking great.
Sounds good.
This James Corden thing just will not go away.
It's weird, right?
Yeah,
Is he apologizing? Is
Yeah.
he not?
The owner of Baltazar, a restaurant in New York City, said, "Hey, James Corden is a fucking prick, and he yells at our staff, and he's a piece of shit." All of us who hate James Corden were like, "Awesome, great, I love this." It was like confirmation bias. I don't even care if this is true.
I was right.
I just want James Corden to not only be an unfunny hack, but a terrible human being as well. That would be great, awesome.
One of the meanest things to do is yell at wait staff.
Yeah, you're a real piece
Not
of
their
shit
fault.
if you do that. Yeah. And then James Corden apologized to the restaurant owner, and the restaurant owner unbanned James Corden from his restaurant. Well, I guess a few restaurant owners came out and kind of got James Corden's back and said he's always been nice here. And they also said, hey, as an owner, you don't call out specific customers. That's not right.
Bad for business.
Well, I'm guessing that James Corden must have got wind of these restaurant owners defending him, because he's now taken back his apology to Baltazar. Could you be a more dramatic cunt?
No.
No.
That's the answer. No.
James Corden seems to be a self-destructive, narcissistic, pathetic excuse for a man. Writes not to
Jesus.
be. I like that. I agree with them. Earlier this week, we brought you the story of how Corden was exposed as a, quote, tiny cretin. That's what the restaurant owner called him. For his rude behavior at a swanky New York restaurant, and then groveled to the owner so that he wouldn't be banned from the place. Well, now that the story and Corden's embarrassing apology have stayed in the headlines, the soon-to-be ex-late-night host has decided to further, embarrass himself by rescinding his apology.
Couldn't he have just taken the win?
Right.
That is a theme with a lot of people. They don't take the win. Like, you did apologize and you got unbanned. And
Yeah.
the restaurant owner actually stood up for the dude a little bit and said nice things about him afterwards, too.
Yeah.
You can't just take that and run with it.
Can't help himself.
Come on, man.
So now I don't know if is he banned again? Is he rebanned from the restaurant? I don't really
I
understand
don't
how
think
any
so.
of this works.
I haven't heard that part yet. I just heard that he took his apology back.
James Corden has retracted the apology he made to an NYC restaurant owner earlier this week, because he's now saying he did nothing wrong. The Late Late Show host sat down with the New York Times Thursday the New York Times doesn't have anything better to do than to talk to this fucking idiot?
No, I'll tell you why. There's no crime problems there. There's no grocery store shortages. There's no,
That's true.
everything seems
right. We're a
to be
month
going
away from an
swimmingly.
election that they don't want to lose. Or no, we're 2 weeks away from an election they don't want to lose. So they can't really talk about any of that stuff because it's all bad for the people they want to win.
Yeah.
Like Nancy Pelosi said, if the economy comes up, we need to change the subject.
Oh, and don't forget they're having an immigration problem now from all the buses.
Yeah, from
the
three busloads
two
of
or
people.
three buses.
Yeah. The Late Late Show sat down with the New York Times Thursday and called the allegations silly. He acted like a cretin by twice going nuts at Balthazar Brasserie in Soho. I haven't done anything wrong on any level, so why would I ever cancel this? Corden told a New York Times reporter, referring to their interview after his embarrassing restaurant flap. Corden goes on, I was there. I get it. I feel so zen about the whole thing. Right,
Ew.
that's why you're continuing to drag it out.
That's gross.
All these actors, all these Hollywood types, they all think they're so zen and undramatic while commenting on all of the problems they've caused.
Yes, if you're so zen, why is it still at the top of your mind?
Yeah. I tell you what, Tony Robbins don't get like this. That man is zen.
Anyone who uses the word zen in like an unironic fashion to me,
If you say zen, you're a cunt. Let's just
please stop.
Yeah.
You're a James Corden.
you're a James Corden. Because I think it's so silly. I just think it's beneath all of us. It's beneath you. It's certainly beneath your publication. Oh,
Ugh.
well, let's...
He told you.
So I guess you're not sorry then, you passive-aggressive little twat muffin?
I hope the guy bans him again. Just because. Why wouldn't you at this point? Just to see what
Yeah.
else he'll say.
Richard Shack says the Great Indoors said this restaurant sucked. Yeah, I think they said they didn't have wingdings.
Anywhere that has does not have wingdings is not okay with us, right?
Yeah, it sucks if you don't have
Not after
wingdings.
that.
You fucking kidding me? So James Corden taking back his apology. So now he was sorry. Now he's not sorry. Then he'll get banned again, and then he'll be sorry that he wasn't more sorry when he was sorry. But then when he wasn't sorry, he was sorry because he should be more sorry. I'm really excited this guy won't be famous for much longer.
This guy just got a big head on him because people from other restaurants were like praising him as
Yeah.
like a good patron. So now that he has rescinded his apology, do they now come out and not be in favor of him? What happened?
I have an idea. At some point during this whole thing, someone is going to stop behaving like a bunch of 10-year-olds.
What? When does that ever happen?
I'm hoping. All right, guys. Fuck it.
Jesus.
I'm jumping into the Tony Michaels stuff.
You can't wait.
I'm
He's
gonna
antsy.
try to ignore the goal as much as I can. I'm gonna just assume that you guys are gonna knock out that goal, that those of you who haven't thrown in $5-10 this month are gonna throw it in tonight. And we're gonna knock out that $195 goal. We're not gonna fall behind this week. We're gonna do our 30 minutes of overtime. We're gonna keep the show supported. It's gonna go great. So there it is. $195 away. Let's all jump in, hit that Streamlabs, hit that PayPal. Let's do it. And let's go into Chicky McNugs, a.k.a. Chicky McDrugs, a.k.a. Tony Michaels, a.k.a. Michael Sosnowski, a.k.a. the Shed King of Missouri.
The rabbit hole continues.
So when we started with Tony Michaels, here's what we thought. Wow, huge douchebag who talks to Stuttering John a lot and shits on a lot of people that we've become friends with
Accurate.
in YouTube. Sounds like a douche.
Looks like a douche.
Does a bit that I fucking hate where he pretends, and Chad Zumock does the same thing, pretends to not know who people are, but then quotes back everything they do. It is such a cringy, douchey, dishonest thing. And again, I find it gross.
Dishonest.
Well, now you have all the Dabbler people. So we started covering Tony. While everyone else is, just laser focused in on John, we've said Zumock, Tony Michaels. I think, 3 weeks ago, I said that's where we need to go. That's
John's
where this
getting
show
too
needs to
stuffy.
be.
Yeah.
As I was DMing with, messaging with Frank Pellegrino earlier today. And he said, you and Carl both have the floor seats to this Tony Michaels, Chad Zumock stuff. I said, well, hey, glad to be there on the floor.
Lucky guys.
Well, I thought that this would just be make fun of Tony Michaels. He takes himself way too seriously. He's a gigantic douchebag. And we'll have some things from time to time we can make fun of him for. Then Dennis sent us all of the drive-through with Chicky McNugg's sketches
Big
and all
old
of
baby face.
all of that shit. And it was so bad, but so awesomely bad that we had to keep watching it.
And he wants to pretend that's not how he got a name for himself.
Well, first of all, he didn't get a name for himself.
Isn't
doing
that how he started his following?
Yep. No, he didn't get a following
Really?
from that.
Okay.
So then he starts doing politics around the time Trump becomes president because that's the grift you can grab onto to become a guy. Then he becomes Stuttering John's last minute, I don't have a guest, I need somebody guy. And then we basically find out that this new Tony Michaels persona is he's supposed to be a liberal, but he's like a badass, I don't take shit from anybody liberal. Fucking cucks. Fuck you. Fuck this. Fuck that. He's the kind of guy who the more he says fuck, the edgier he is.
He really is. And don't forget the defascist. You know.
Oh, yeah. He's not DeSantis.
Defascist.
He's defascist. So we thought we'd have all this funny stuff to make fun of Tony Michaels for. Anyone who takes themselves too seriously and also talks a lot of politics is usually wide open for criticism. Well, these beautiful fucking weirdo autist sacks of shit, like Muttering Jay, like Stut Joe Depot, like I don't know if Carl just kind of used their stuff or if Carl did some digging as well, but everyone at Dabblers Anonymous, our buddies at Insufferable Bastards, like all of them, started digging and they started finding all kinds of wild shit from Tony Michaels' past and recent present.
Almost unimaginable for me.
Check this shit out. Tuesday, October 7th, 2014. 8 years ago, almost to the day. The Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney's Office, Western District of Missouri. Tammy Dickinson, United States Attorney for the Western District of Missouri, announced today that 7 more individuals have been charged along with the original 8 individuals and a business previously indicted by a federal grand jury for their roles in a conspiracy to distribute synthetic marijuana, commonly known as K2.
Not a good start for the individuals.
Spice, in other words.
It is spice.
The shit that turned people into zombies for a while.
It's really nasty. Like, people have gotten bad strains of this shit and died.
Like, before fentanyl, this was like the shit they were warning us about.
Don't
was
do it.
Synthetic marijuana. And I always found it funny that we have a drug that's illegal. So it forces people to try to go around the laws to create legal things that are more dangerous than the illegal thing. It always got me.
I don't think it's legal anymore because of that.
No, it's not anymore.
No.
So why am I bringing up a Department of Justice, a federal drug beef? Well, it's because of the names. Wesley Adam Upchurch of Columbia, Missouri. Jimmy Dean Moore, 49, and his wife Tina Irene Moore, 44, owners of More For You in Queen City, Missouri. Sharon Elizabeth Harrington, 27, of Bunston, Missouri. Travis Scott Lovett, 34, of Purdon, Missouri. Jessica Lynn Lovett, 31, of Buckland, Missouri. And Michael Sosnowski, 29, of Jefferson City, Missouri, were charged in a 13-count indictment returned under seal by a federal grand jury in Jefferson City on Thursday, October 2nd, 2014, about 8 years ago. That indictment was unsealed and made public today upon the arrest and initial court appearance of Upchurch. So, you might be wondering, who is Michael Sosnowski? Well, Michael Sosnowski might be this guy.
A defense and a trial. And the reason why is because you're already convicted. Now, the reason why I know these things, the reason why I know Steve Bannon will serve every single day, and I want you to be rest assured that he will serve every single day of that 4 months eventually, is that I know because I've been in the federal criminal justice system.
Uh-oh.
Really?
What?
You don't say. You've been in the criminal justice system. Well, look, just because we have a guy named Michael Sosnowski from Missouri, that doesn't mean that Tony Michaels choosing his badass name isn't really this Polish guy who got busted for distributing K2.
But
by the way, how wonderful is this Nugs
Yeah.
Not Drugs poster?
I was just going to say, but not from the Nugs Not Drugs guy.
Somebody might be projecting a little bit.
What's in those nugs?
Do you think he doesn't use sauce on his nugs now because it's too spicy?
Oh,
Perhaps. I don't know.
no.
Well, anyway, this is pretty flimsy, right? I
Yeah,
mean, just
I need
because
concrete
Tony,
evidence.
yeah, just because Tony Michaels has been involved in the federal justice system doesn't mean that he is Michael Sosnowski, the guy busted for being part of a K2 distribution ring. Let's hear out Tony Michaels some more. By the way, what a hardcore political dude. He's edgy, man. He's got hats that say "fuck him" on it.
I found him on Twitter today, I believe it was, and all it says on there is like the fuck 'em stuff. And
How
fuck
great is it?
this, fuck that.
This douchebag, you can take the fatso out of the drive-thru, but you can't take the drive-thru out of the fatso. This guy is still trying to latch on with a gimmick. He's
good.
still trying. I'm not just a liberal commentator. I'm an edgy one. And you know what I say? Fuck him.
If you're against me, you're a cuck.
Yeah. Ugh. I've never seen a more punchable face think he's a badass. So anyway, Tony Michaels says that he's been in the federal criminal justice system.
Okay.
Let's see if we can connect this to any of the Michael Sosnowski stuff.
Okay.
I've been there. I've done that before. I made a mistake a long time ago.
Would 8 years ago be a long time ago?
I'd consider it a long time.
Okay. By the way, thank you, Flex, for the $3.16 on PayPal. We appreciate that, bud.
Bad
you.
business decision that I decided to participate in selling a questionable product.
April,
Oh, boy.
April, would you consider 8 years ago a long time?
Yes,
April, would you consider K2 to be a questionable product?
absolutely.
Do you think if you were involved in the selling of a questionable product like K2, the federal government might get involved in busting you?
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I need much more evidence that Tony Michaels is indeed Michael Sosnowski.
We're drawing some connections.
All right, he's got 16 seconds.
Now, because of that, I know the system. I know that Steve Bannon will serve those days. I also know that there's a 2-tiered, and really honestly, if you want to go deeper, it's a 3-tiered justice system in this country.
Which part of the tier is the one where you're selling K2 with a bunch of bums in Missouri? I'm just curious about that one.
How does a Tony Michaels get wrapped into that? He seems too childish for it almost. Like, how does he meet these people?
Look, man, here's the thing about Tony Michaels. If you haven't been clued in already that this guy will do anything to get people to like him.
Okay, you know what? Touche.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
He wants people to like him.
He
He
will
wants
do-
to be the cool guy.
Yeah. He will do anything he can to get people to like him.
Plus, he's got to afford his drive-through habits.
Oh, of course.
How else
Yeah,
do you
you've
pay
got
for
that. Also, a funny clip from Tony. You know how Tony Michaels may not be his real name, and in fact, Michael Sosnowski may be his real name?
Sure.
This was kind of a priceless little moment on the Tony Michaels show.
You know I get names confused, Gabe. I get names confused. I get them turned around. I just can't sometimes place my brain on a name.
You know, that would be a sign of K2 damage. Not only that, he might mix up a name like Michael Sosnowski for Tony Michaels.
It is all coming together now. That K2 has fried his brain cells.
Guys, I've got to tell
boy.
you, it is wonderful to have a guy like Tony Michaels, or Michael Sosnowski, however you want to reference him, the Spice King of Missouri. To have old Spicenberg, to have Spicenberg, Tony Michaels, be a guy that we were just going to make fun of for being a really cringe, douchey political commentator. This is the absolute definition of getting more than you bargained for.
I would say so. I would have never guessed any of this.
Oh, this is like you went to Home Depot to buy a ladder and they gave you a brand new shed.
God, wouldn't that be great?
Oh, hey, and if I need someone to sell me a shed,
I want a shed.
do you want a shed?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna need someone who knows how to make storage sheds then.
Do you know somebody?
I might know somebody. Here you go, guys. Here's some information on storage sheds. This is
It's a good start.
tour of a 10 by 16 storage shed. It's a video tour. Oh, yeah. Open that other door. Let's take a look.
Don't walk anyone in there. Who is this?
Oh, you'll see. Do we see in this video? Dennis, by the way, sent me all of these.
It's a nice shed. I'd take it.
Oh, that looks like a wonderful shed. But don't you want to trust the person selling you the shed?
Usually.
Yeah, you want to trust the person selling you the shed.
I want to trust I'm getting it for a good value.
Sure,
all
absolutely. You want to know that the person selling you this shed is a good guy.
that. A real straight shooter.
A real straight shooter. So, or how about, you know what, a metal carport? You know, something to keep your car dry when you can't fit it in the garage.
Sure, my truck doesn't fit in the garage.
All
I
right.
could use one.
Let's see who might sell you one.
Come on. No. Why does he dabble in all these weird things?
Who the fuck is this guy from Mondo Homes?
The double bubble is what we want to select too. Again, with the double bubble, that'll keep building from sweating.
What the fuck is this
way you
happy
don't
horse
have-
shit?
That would be Michael Sosnowski, a.k.a. Chicky McNugs, a.k.a. Tony Michaels, a.k.a. Spicenberg, selling you carports and sheds. I told you the rabbit hole was going to get really deep tonight.
A jack of all trades. He's now a shed huckster.
Oh, he is a shed-hucking,
What is this?
K2 spicing,
If drive
conservative Dyson, drive-through loving son of a gun. Woo!
and super dad. Yay.
Spicenberg.
How does he do these things? How does he get roped into so many different avenues? I don't understand this.
Have you not
None of it adds up.
Do you not understand by now that Chicky McNugs will do goddamn anything to finally make a name for himself?
There's no way he builds these. He is not a man's man.
He's Bob the Builder. He's Spicenberg.
No.
He's Chicky McNugs. He's Drive-Thru Guy. He's Michael Sosnowski. He's... How bad do you have to hate yourself that you have to have so many goddamn identities?
I think he's trying to be fat Eric Church, too.
Mr. Sosnowski, I got bad news, pal. The call is coming from inside the house. Now, a guy who gets so involved and wrapped up in politics and rants angrily about it is not a guy who's angry at the politics. He's angry with himself.
Usually.
Any kind of moisture coming in underneath. Now, if you do notice here, we are selecting just for the center section.
I'm sorry,
So
but
it's
this
just
just
the
seems
enclosed
like a sociopath to me.
section.
Like a guy who can sit there and go, fuck them, these fucking cucks, these conservative assholes, these pieces of shit. But then can also go, and by the way, this seal in this pole shed will give you optimum leak protection from anything that you're looking to...
So give me some answers
Welcome
here.
back again. This is a very special week. We're going to be
Who are
building
you?
a couple different Harley colored buildings, Harley orange colored buildings.
The fuck?
Why doesn't he
Sweet.
say his name?
This first one is a RV style garage and cover.
Stop twisting it so
Kinda
much.
Unique little building here.
I want to see if he says his name at the end of this.
And then maybe your RV on this side, or camper or boat. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. We'll see you later on with the next Harley Pavilion.
Oh, man. Are there credits? Are there credits? Ah, damn. So he was working for a place called Mondo Homes.
So that's not his company. Right.
I cannot be sure if that was his company or not, but I have 46 of these videos.
There's no way he doesn't say his name in one of these.
Would you like to see a she shed?
No.
Now, is he in this one? No. He doesn't narrate this one. So he only does the narrations on the ones where you're designing it and doing the computer programming thing.
Does not seem like the guy to be doing that. But also does not seem to be the guy selling K2.
Right?
Also does not seem the guy to take political information from.
He's not any of these guys.
He's trying too hard.
He's trying way too hard.
He seems like the guy that should have just stayed where he was comfortable and maybe worked at McDonald's so he could be all gay and happy in the drive-thru, right?
Maybe something. Well, don't worry. I've got a lot more where that came from. I have link on top of link on top of link. I have who are these podcast clips. I have more shed stuff. Guys, I think that our Tony Michaels cup runneth over with content now.
I'd say so. So what was the official... people are saying he owns Mondo Homes. I wrote it down. I was going to look into it.
Okay, they said they found the LLC info on Mondo Homes. Now, wait a minute. Is that... I want to get the contact information. Oh, it's still going. Oh, yep. Jefferson City, Missouri, open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have to fucking call these guys.
2.9 star Google review.
Oh, no.
You think these are some flimsy buildings?
Do you think this phone number is Chicky McNugg's phone number?
I don't know.
Oh, this is too awesome. So Mondo Homes is still in business. April, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Guys, would you like to see Mondo Homes' YouTube channel?
Yes, please.
What happened?
Why is the channel scrubbed?
The Mondo Homes channel has been completely scrubbed of content.
I'm semi-curious.
I think Mr. Sosnowski might have found out that the internet was hip to his fucking gimmick and took down all his content.
Do you think that maybe when people order these homes, if they do, they just don't show up?
Come on, Spicenberg. What are you doing, pal?
Buddy,
don't be ashamed, you shed-hawking nobody.
that would have been the manliest thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
Running a shed company.
Come on.
I could have used one.
Tony, we could all have used a shed. He's busted being a huckster, says Steven. Dude, honestly, I got to tell you, the shed company is the most honest thing Tony's ever done.
Right, that's almost why it doesn't fit.
The shed thing is more honest than the drive-thru guy. It's more honest than the sketch comedy guy. It's more honest than the politics guy. I mean...
Do you think we could get this guy on our channel
No.
by any means?
No,
Does
he hates
hate
us.
you?
He's like Zumach. He knows everybody who's ever said a bad word about him. He's remarkably insecure.
I want him to have a DSP moment where he's something like, I don't care if everyone hates me. I just want somebody to talk to me about all these things. I want
Guys,
that to be Tony.
What's the LLC info on Mondo Homes? Can we find out if it's owned by a Tony Michaels or a
It's a
Michael
Z.
Sosnowski?
It's a Z.
You're right. Not Mondo Homes. Mondo Homes LLC info. BBB, Better Business Bureau. Let's take a look. Email this business. Jefferson City, Missouri. Pole shed, carport, so on and so forth. Business details. Wow, business management.
Oh my God. what?
Mr. Tony Sosnowski. Wait a minute then.
That's
Who's
wild.
Michael Sosnowski? Did he change his name?
Okay, there has to be a way that we could Google either with one of the Sosnowski names and see what comes up about that person, right?
I mean, maybe.
You could do a quick search.
He started this in 2019. His arrest was in 2014. He might have started going by Tony Sosnowski because if you Google Michael Sosnowski, the first thing that comes up in Google is that Department of Justice thing. Oh my God.
This is getting
Well,
weird.
where else would Tony Michaels come from?
That's a good point. It's just a
Michael
mixture of the two.
Sosnowski, Tony Michaels.
It's a mixture of the two.
Wow. That is fucking awesome.
This is really weird.
That is remarkably great.
I don't know any other of our fools on here that have like such a weird, kind of shady background. They're kind of out in the open and you know about them.
Wow. Marcus says this is getting juicy. This
wanna
is
know-
remarkably juicy.
I want to know about this guy now.
Oh. James writes, drive through and fuck him. That is, he should splice the two together. No, not spice the two together.
That'll
not
get
spice.
you fucked up.
Wow. Taste Fairy says, I think his real name is Michael Tony Hickenbottom. No, Michael Hickenbottom is Shawn Michaels' name. You're getting them confused now.
Obviously, they're twins.
I want to throw out all the thank yous to Dabblers Anonymous. I want to throw out all of the thank yous to Muttering Jay, Dennis, everybody who helped grab this stuff. Because this Tony Michaels shit is too awesome.
John Myers just says his name is Michael Anthony.
It's just too great. Kinky Loco says Dabblers never sleep. Listen, I know that over on Dabblers Anonymous, when they put my stuff up there, it's 50-50. People find me to be an obnoxious guy, whatever. Guys, I understand why you'd think I'm obnoxious. I'm a loud personality, but I think there's a lot of people who are now fans of this show who started out thinking I was obnoxious, and then they realize, oh no, he's just loud. That's just how he talks. He's very self-deprecating. He takes a lot of shit from his fans and has fun with them.
He's exuberant.
I'm an excited little guy. I'm like Tony Michaels at a drive-thru. I'm sorry, Michael Sosnowski at a drive-thru. The Spice King of Jefferson, Missouri. Old Spicenberg himself. Say my name.
Can we coin
Sosnowski? You're goddamn right.
I want to coin Dribblers, and I want you to have Spicenberg.
Spicenberg. Guys, can you put it on Dabblers Anonymous now? And can you please make me the guy who coined Spicenberg for Tony Michaels? And again, Dabblers Anonymous, I know half of you don't like me. I love you guys. I think you do great stuff. I know appealing to Reddit for any kind of hey, a peace between us this night, Arthur Costas, is going to fail miserably. But I just want to let you guys know, even if you think I'm a giant piece of shit, even if you fucking hate me.
And he might be.
I love you. And I might be a piece of shit. I love you guys. And I think you do the Lord's work. And we wouldn't be able to deep dive into Spicenberg, a.k.a. Michael Sosnowski, a.k.a. Tony Michaels, a.k.a. Chicky McNugs, a.k.a. Douche in the drive-thru guy.
Drugs McNugs.
Drugs McNugs. Spicenberg.
I need somebody to...
Carport Willie. I don't know what you want to call him.
You know when Walter White wears his cream-colored jacket with the douchey black hat on and his glasses? I need that photoshopped, but Tony Michaels
on to Tony Michaels. Yes. Guys, get on that. Can we get Heisenberg with Tony Michaels' face, just the clothes and everything with Tony Michaels' face, and get Spicenberg?
Yeah, get the glasses and the hat and the jacket.
Mr. Nobody, Tony Michaels. I am the one who drives through.
It was for me.
Oh.
I liked it.
Tony, if you tell me that... No. Tony, if you tell me you did it for us... If you tell me you did it for us one more time... I did it for me, John.
He fucked up.
I like the way it made me feel.
He gave John too much spice and it made John have a stutter.
Oh, no.
He fucked up John for life.
Oh, boy. Kinky Loco says, join r/Tony Michaels house today. Subscribe to that subreddit. Absolutely.
Min-Max is calling us Apron, the best duo on the show.
Apron is the best duo on the show. Thank you, Min-Max.
That's funny.
I'm stealing that one.
Apron.
Now, I also have to thank VIP Matthew S.
Whoa.
Who just threw in another VIP package.
Jesus.
And that's going to knock out our goal today.
Was that the guy from this morning?
I don't know. We have so many Matthews. We've had 3 new Matthew VIPs.
Is this the...
in the last couple weeks. Now, I don't know.
This one?
Matthew, if you're in the chat or if you want to write to me privately or whatever, I don't know what you want me to do. Do you want me to give that VIP away to someone, or you just want me to take the $250 and put it towards the goal?
That'd be cool.
Or do you want me to put it in the prize show and draw for it?
Don't look at me. I didn't
give it. You could put that VIP in the drive-thru. Or in the drive. Oh, my God. I'm so hooked on the Tony Michael Sosnowski thing. Thank you very much, Matthew. I guess we could just bank it until he tells us what to do.
Well, yeah, it helps the show.
That would put us $90 ahead, so I'm going to put 45 into tomorrow morning, 45 into tomorrow evening. And Rupert with $4.99 says, April looks like she just came back from the old lady's clothes store.
Hey, this is my new used secondhand sweater, and I think it's very cool. Okay?
Oh, man. Well, thank
Again,
you guys.
It's a solid $8 sweater.
Kinky Loco says, is it Matthew Sosnowski? No, it is not Matthew Sosnowski. So my question is, do you guys want to go deeper into the Michael Sosnowski, a.k.a. Tony Michaels, a.k.a. Spicenberg stuff?
Is there more?
I've got Carl shitting on him, and I've got
fun.
Tony Michaels calling out Carl.
I would be into that. I like anything with Carl.
All right. Well,
Carl's pretty cool.
by the way, when we started doing this on YouTube 5 months ago, I was already a fan of Who Are These Podcasts. I was already a fan of what Chrissy and those guys at Compound were doing. I'll be honest, except Gino. But if you would have told me that 4 or 5 months after we started YouTube, I'd be regularly texting with Carl from Who Are These Podcasts when we release Tony and Chad stuff,
It's getting weird.
or that I would be DMing back and forth while taking the kids clothes shopping with Frank Pellegrino and shit like that. Like, I would have been like, oh, what a weird fucking turn this show must have taken.
I bet you feel nice and popular now.
But here we are.
I don't do any of that.
I've got
I've gotten a Sam Tripoli message. That's what I've gotten.
I haven't gotten a Sam Tripoli message. All right. Would you like to watch Who Are These Podcasts shit on Tony Michaels?
Yeah.
AKA Michael Sosnowski, AKA Spicenberg, AKA Chicky McNugs, or what did you call him?
Drugs McNugs.
Drugs McNugs. All right. A lot of aliases. You know, a lot of guys in that line of work have a lot of aliases.
Yes. You have to.
Yeah.
Do it a little bit here.
Michael S. Thanks for the $5 going skiing on the K2 summit.
So somebody, Michael S., meaning Michael Sosnowski, sent Stuttering John $5 and said, going skiing on the K2 summit, going to be filled with spice. Wish me
I
luck.
don't even know where that is. Going to be
It's
filled
a
with
large mountain, the K2, the second largest mountain in the world in the Himalayas.
Whatever.
Wish me luck. Ready, set, build. I've heard a lot about it.
These
Okay.
two just don't get it.
No. So ready, set, build. You know what? Before we play Carl's thing, I want to go to something Stut Joe Depot did because I couldn't go through all of the shed stuff to find the ready, set, build one.
Okay.
So I want to play Stut Joe Depot. I'm going to take a little detour from Carl and bring you right back. This is from Stut Joe Depot. I'm going to put his link in the chat here so you guys can subscribe to him. There you go. Go subscribe to Stut Joe Depot. And let's go find that. There it is. Sorry, guys. I'm giving you a fucking seizure over here. This is what Stut Joe Depot came up with for Michael Sosnowski, a.k.a. Drugs McNugs, a.k.a. Spicenberg, a.k.a. Carport Willie, a.k.a. Tony Michaels, a.k.a. The Dribbler, a.k.a. Fuck 'em Drive-Thru.
I love this stuff. This is like a TV show for me.
Okay.
This is an Ozark
Money
thing.
laundering 101.
Oh, really?
That's fucking
Say
funny.
you come across a suitcase with $5 million in it.
Oh, that is Jason Bateman, yeah.
What would you buy?
Well, this tells you what the episode's
There's a
about.
fucking video of it, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a whole video.
Whatever your purpose, whatever your dream,
No.
power your passion.
What the
We are going to build another metal building today on our 3D builder. This is the building that we have.
So, by the way,
Okay.
Tony Michaels took all of these down. That's what the channel we showed you earlier
Why
was.
does he continue to take things down is my question. Putting it up means he thought it was good, right?
What did I tell you? You try to fight the internet, you're going to end up looking like a fucking idiot.
Okay, hear me out. It's a shed company. What could have possibly happened to embarrass him about a shed company unless they were either the shittiest quality of all time or he couldn't deliver?
He didn't want all of us knowing about it. And then also, I don't think he wants that connected to the drug thing in case it hurts the business.
Oh, yeah, your whole 2.9 Google ratings.
Look, go around yelling at people, calling them cucks, saying, fuck you want to come after me for my drive-thru shit? Go ahead, play them all you want. If you go to the internet and you go, fucking bring it, bitch, and you get confrontational, I'm sorry, you just stirred up an autistic hornet's nest and they're going to sting you to death. That's why when we get made fun of on our show and people come by and they shit on us or go, you guys suck, we go, hey, dude, just give it a little while. I bet you'll be a big fan.
Relax.
And most of those people end up being a big fan. We don't sit there and tell the internet, hey, come on, fucking bring it. We've been hammered on by so many subreddits. We go and read them on the show and go, oh, fuck, that's brutal. You know, oh, God, that one, do we really sound like that? You have a sense of humor about it, and then you go live your life when the mics are turned off. You start deleting videos. First of all, you can't delete a bunch of videos and then act like a tough guy and go, yeah, fuck you, play whatever you want, you fucking cuck, fuck 'em, fuck.
Fuck you, buy a shed for your spice.
Yeah.
So in order to find a builder, we did a lot of online searching. We came across Mondo Homes.
Oh, no, he got Opie's buddy, the guy who calls into Opie's show. He got Creamy Butters to do a read for him.
Gave Tony a call, and we were able to get a quote pretty fast.
For the hunter or the carpenter.
Or the fucking cuck insurrectionist bitch, Chrissy Mayer.
This is a fever dream.
Oh, this is great. Chicky McNugs. Thank you, Stut Joe Depot.
The painter or the artist. Give your dream the space to thrive and the power to come.
Oh, there it is. Agent name, Michael Sosnowski.
In a fully finished
Michael Sosnowski, organizer. Michael Sosnowski, agent. Wait a minute. Does that mean, wait a minute. The Better Business Bureau thing, does that mean he's changed it since this weekend?
It must
and
have
made
because
it Tony Sosnowski?
Tony, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Dude, what is going on with you?
Hey, Spicenberg. Hey, Tony Michaels, which is a fake made-up person who doesn't exist. If you're such a badass, if you're so fuck 'em, dude, why the hiding, bro?
His kids have to be so confused as to what to call him now.
Yeah. Are you Spicenberg or are you Heidenberg? Because you're hiding from everything. Every time people come at you with something, you pretend to be a big tough guy, and then you change everything and delete everything and go, come on, Tony. Can you feel the walls closing in?
Dude, I can feel it for him. This is nuts.
Ooh. This is what happens when you taunt people. This is what happens when you don't have a good sense of humor about what we're doing for a living.
Mondo Homes was able to get us a quote after about 24 hours. And then about 7 weeks later, they erected this in 2 days.
Like and share this if you know anyone that's looking for a metal building.
28 Twitter followers. Oh, and they privated it. They locked it.
How are you going to have a business but make it private?
Same reason you're going to change who owns it over the weekend.
I don't like any of this. It's dishonest.
Building or a carport like this. Or
wait, you mean the guy who tried to be a sketch comedian, then tried to be a drive-through food reviewer, then tried to be a political analyst after he got busted selling K2, and the shed builder guy? You're saying he might be duplicitous?
You're saying he's not a good guy?
Wow, what a piece of shit April is.
Workshop, agricultural building. Let them know by sharing the link with them.
Please fucking
Tony's
say ready,
a really
set,
nice
build.
guy. He was very knowledgeable with the building. He never really...
Just don't tell him you're into the Second Amendment or Trump, dude, because then the deal's off.
Is this Tony's, like, skinny twin? What the fuck happened to him? He looks tiny next to this dude.
Well, Spice will cut the pounds.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now say my name.
I'm shocked.
I'm the one who builds the shed.
This is weird.
Anything.
And then also subscribe to us again and click that bell notification. That way you get the notifications when we do
How's that
these
going,
videos
palsy
if you like
walsy?
them. And thanks very much.
Say ready, set,
I would
build.
say that
say
if
ready,
I build
set,
another
build.
building like this, I'll definitely be using Tony.
Say it, fucker. Say it.
No, I did. I dropped out of college twice. There's nothing wrong with
He's
being a
bad again.
And then there you go. 7 more
at him.
individuals indicted for conspiracy to distribute synthetic drugs.
dropout, John. It just
Michael Sosnowski, 29, of Jefferson City, Missouri.
depends on
I know, but
how many drugs you did and you continue to do. I guess.
This is like that Tinder swindler guy going by like 300 different names.
Ready, set, build,
Just
indeed,
weird
Tony
shit.
boy. Old Spicenberg. God, is he perfect.
God, I hope he never sees a woman again.
I hope he never changes. Tony, don't you go changing just to please me. Not like you changed your name changing. I get that. So what are you going to go by now? Because Tony Michaels is Michael Sosnowski. Tony Sosnowski's a dead name. What are you going to be next, Chicky McNugs?
Spicenberg.
And you got to be Spicenberg at this. You've got to be
He's got to
Spicenberg.
hear that somewhere and think it's cool.
Yeah, you've got to be Spicenberg. Marquise with $10 super chat says that was worth every dollar. Also, I'm not suggesting you tweet at the Tony Michaels about his checkered history. I repeat, I'm not suggesting it. Rupert with $1.99 says, April, do you knit hats and blankets?
Come on. This is a lovely sweater. The back's very cool. They can't see it, but it's cool.
Well, guys.
I'll wear something nicer tomorrow.
Guys, I've got that on Tony Sosnowski. I've got that on Tony Michaels. I never thought we were going to get into all of this when we first started talking about Tony Michaels.
How good does it make you feel?
We ain't done yet because
We're
we got to get
still
back
not
to
done?
Carl shitting on Tony Michaels. And then we got Tony Michaels calling out Carl from Who Are These Podcasts. Guys, I hope this has been the ride for you that it is for me.
It is pretty weird.
We just wanted to make fun of the funny drive-through videos and what a crazy psychopath he was when he talked about politics.
Yes, he looks like two different versions of crazy, but now the crazy has so many layers, like an onion almost.
And then this weirdo who tries to sell people sheds, and like, who the fuck is this guy?
And do you, can you imagine if you were trying to buy a shed from this guy and somebody led you on to his other channels?
Right.
If those still existed.
I don't think the big bearded creamy butters guy is going to be buying that shed.
No, I don't think most like outdoorsy men's men are going to.
Get this. How big of a fucking wannabe famous political pundit is this guy? That he takes the business that probably pays his bills and decides to delete that YouTube channel that could have promoted the business he does for a living, rather than be able to part with his Tony Michaels podcast, delete all the political shit so he can focus on running the business. How desperate is this sack of shit to be famous that he couldn't even part with the optional side gig?
Yeah.
He had to part with the thing that pays the bills. Tony, he's worse than Chad Zumach. You're falling apart. At least Chad Zumach is just having an honest, nervous breakdown.
He wants to be the cool guy so bad and he can't be.
He was in high school.
He was in high school. Yeah,
But Tony Michaels is having a dishonest nervous breakdown.
Yes.
At least Chad is a delusional fuckwit who's falling apart in front of our eyes, but doing it very openly as Chad Zumach. Tony Michaels how many pasts can you run from at one time? This man's running
6.
from like 6 different pasts all at once.
Yeah. And the shed thing was the most honest thing out of all of them. If he actually would show up and build them. If they actually delivered, I feel like that's the most honest thing he's done.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that person who just put that in there was Michael S. It has been discovered, Tony Michaels, who forgets people's names all the time. Who's Anthony Cumia again? Didn't know who Chrissy Mayer was. What's her name again? Pretends he doesn't remember people's names.
He didn't know Kanye.
Carl watches Steel Toe. Steel Toe watches Carl.
Aren't you two just the cutest couple?
I always get texts from Carl when I put out Tony or Chad stuff. He goes, "Oh, great video. You fucking nailed it on him." And then I'll watch Who Are These Podcasts, and I'll be, that was a fucking great point Carl made. I'm going to remember that one.
Hey, Carl, and just in case you're listening, I want you to know that while Aaron's laying in bed with me, he's texting
I only text Carl during daytime appropriate hours.
Oh, sure.
Yes. Frank Pellegrino and we DM all the time.
Oh, you two talk together in bed.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It's really weird. Like I always talk about like you, and then he always asks if I have pictures of my feet I can send. So I don't know what Frank's up to. He swears that they're for Cumia, but I have no idea.
Don't send my feet to Cumia.
No, my feet.
Oh, your feet. That's fine.
He says they're for Cumia, but I know they're for Bob Odenkirk.
He didn't know who Ye was. He might not know who he is. Because his real name is not Tony Michaels. It's Michael Anthony Sosnowski. And you haven't heard about this yet?
No.
Okay. Muttering Jay.
Carl
go to his
so
Twitter.
excited.
Okay, so I think Carl's just going to go over a lot of the same ground we did. So Carl went after Tony.
Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and click the bell to get notifications.
Yeah, click the like button if you're enjoying our little show tonight. Carl went after him kind of the same way we did on his show this weekend. Here's Tony talking about Carl.
Uh-oh.
Now, this is before Carl's show this weekend.
Hold on. Is he going to forget who Carl is?
Let's see.
Because again, that's what I'm saying is the copyright is only.
Guys, I can't help you with the video size. By the way, this was just taken off somebody's cell phone.
Big screen it.
I did. It's big screened right now.
as good as the person who will seek out the copyright, right? Like if you don't challenge the copyright, then you're essentially giving them permission to use it. Like I would give Kevin and his stupid show Why Do I Podcast or with Kevin Dumbfuck or whatever the show's called.
Kevin's a lovely man. You leave him alone.
By the way, he meant Who Are These Podcasts with Carl. Mm-hmm. And then I love that Kevin Dumbfuck from Why Do I Podcast decided to
he got thrown in the mix.
Yeah. I think that's fucking great. No, I think he made that show based on Tony doing this.
Yeah.
Kevin Dumbfuck from Why Do I Podcast.
But Kevin, if you're out there, I know you're going to be listening to this because I know you're going to scour through this whole thing. And I know you're going to try to create a YouTube video. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I love that Tony knows he's going to get shit on and he's terrified to get shit on. So he thinks he's heading it off at the pass.
And John's really uncomfortable to watch during these things because he uncomfortably choke laughs back there and has nothing to say.
I think it's because John was on Howard and he knows all these gay tricks that that Michael Sosnowski's doing.
And he's reveling in it or something.
No, and he's going oh, and he's uncomfortably laughing.
Oh, okay, the opposite.
Because this is a long way from where John came from.
Yeah.
And Tony knows he's going to get shit on. He knows who Carl is. He knows who are these podcasts. And he's doing that really lame bit. He knows Kevin. Yeah. He's doing that really lame bit where he's pretending not to. It's so cringe.
You are completely allowed, because all my content is free. It's for anyone to see. And
really? How about Mondo Homes? Can I see the Mondo Home stuff on your channel? How about Chicky McNugs? Can I see the drive-through stuff?
If I may for a second, you know how I said I found him on Twitter today?
Yeah.
He's the only account I've ever seen on Twitter where he has a $sign thing next to his Twitter bio.
Those are super tweets or whatever.
He's asking for money on Twitter. I've never seen an account do that before. No.
This is behind a paywall. There's a difference.
Right. But what I'm saying is my content, my show. Kevin, baby, if you want to make a separate channel, you got your Stuttering John channel that you only obsess about him. If you want to jerk off to my content every day like you do John's, I am perfectly happy, Kevin, to let you use and jerk off to
By the way, you can draw a direct line from these two chuckle fucks challenging Carl from Who Are These Podcasts to Tony now deleting all of his videos, scrubbing all of his history, changing his name on the Better Business Bureau page so it doesn't say Michael Sosnowski, the
intense.
K2 guy.
That's intense.
Tony, you can't be Mr. Tough Guy and bow up and pretend you're hard and I don't care, doesn't affect me, and then delete all your shit and change your business name and be terrified like you are, Tony. Just admit you're a scared little K2 peddler who's terrified of being found out. You've always been the insecure little boy who's been worried you're going to be found out for the phony you are. You challenged everyone to do it. They did it. Congratulations. You're the 19 millionth person to find out they're not smarter than the entirety of the internet, and you're getting your fucking shit pushed in for it. And I love watching it. I love it.
Can you imagine being somebody who changed your name because you're so insecure and embarrassed
of your past, of the things you've done?
You've wiped your videos and everything.
Tony, you are getting this video is not aging well. You're getting the dog shit kicked out of you, son.
My content anytime you fucking want, man. You can rewatch it. You can watch it in double speed. You can watch it in slow-mo. I mean, whatever.
I can't when you delete them, Tony, unless Dennis and Muttering Jay are fucking cool enough to send it to me.
Yeah, where'd they go?
Is suit your fancy. It doesn't make me any difference. You can.
It doesn't make you any difference. Why did you delete them right away? Why did you change your name for the third time? Why?
He's gonna pull a Stuttering John and it was something with YouTube. They just kind of take him down.
Oh yeah, because John did that.
He did do that.
When John started taking down his live streams, he was, I don't know. There's something going on with my YouTube. No, there's not.
No.
Use the shit out of my content because your sock puppet accounts that you create and have all these sock puppet accounts that
somebody's projecting.
Careful.
Somebody's projecting on the sock accounts because we got the sock account brothers right here. Yep. Zumock does this too.
John's starting to sweat.
Constantly posting everywhere, and you try.
Question.
John wasn't laughing anymore when he started bringing up sock accounts, was he?
Thank you. I was gonna say that he totally clammed up as soon as sock accounts came up.
He really did.
And then they cut that
People
chunk.
keep asking me, why did you take down your drive-through video?
So how it started versus how it's going. You can use all my content. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them, fucking cucks. Fuck. Hey, why'd you take down all your drive-through videos, loser?
These are the misery
My drive-through
twins.
videos. You know, everyone kind of likes those. Everyone kind of likes those.
I thought they were good.
Yeah, I like those videos. Those are.
Do you? Do you like those videos?
If you like them, why are they gone?
Right, why are they gone?
If I like something, I don't take it down. I'm proud of it.
Right.
Okay.
Were you on Spice? Is that what it was, Tony? Could you not control yourself because you were on the K2 summit?
He short-circuited.
Spicenberg?
From a long time ago.
So why did you take them down?
Well, they kept getting trolls kept
Now you turned into John.
Coming to them, people were giving them attention. So I mean, I might put them back up. I don't know.
No, you won't.
When I feel good and I want some Chicky McNugs, maybe I'll put it back.
Some happiness.
I got my some happiness and a Happy Meal. I got my Nuggets sign here. They all
Nugs, not drugs. That's before. And by the way, that was not ironic. That wasn't you playing off your K2 arrest. People didn't know about your K2 arrest. And you've got that sign, Nugs, not drugs. Oh boy, Tony,
It's his cover-up.
You are not hiding in plain sight like you think you are.
And Tony, the thing is with all them trolls coming to your drive-through videos, if you had just let them burn themselves out and left the videos up, it would have all been over.
Tony, I have something very painful for you to hear. You are not 10% as smart as you believe yourself to be. And that's your biggest problem.
all think that I'm ashamed of my love for fast food. Fuck no, if those videos are any proof, I love fast food.
If those videos were any proof, you mean the proof that you deleted and wiped out because you're so not ashamed? Tony, you are full of shit, pal.
He never even showed us the food. I damn near wonder sometimes if he didn't buy anything.
This is a fat kid who wants to recreate himself as something else, and it's just not working.
And he's like taking straws out of a hat too. Like he pulls, what? I'm a shed huckster. I'm going to sell drugs today. I'm the political guy. I'm a drive-through man.
All right, look.
It's so weird.
I'm going to end the clip here for the people who are watching this after we put it up as a best of. Watch Steel Toe Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. Central, and 7 to 9 p.m. Monday through Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Central. You're going to love this show. Thank you, Chicky McNugs. Thank you, Tony Michaels, Michael Sosnowski, the K2 King of Jefferson City, Missouri, Spicenberg, Carport Willie, whatever your fucking name is. Thank you for all of the entertainment.
Yes, thank you.
That felt good.
That was a trip.
That felt really, really good. Now I want to go to the chat. I'm never going to be able to catch up with all the people that wanted to chime in on this, but I'll scroll up the chat a little bit, and I'll pick out a few of your guys' stuff.
I'm just so shocked, like maybe not shocked, but it's so interesting to me just how hard he's trying to cover himself up after he has a failed attempt at a new persona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't work. Let's hide it. It doesn't work again. Let's hide it.
Like Raymond Bryant says, deleting videos is a sign of hiding something.
Yes.
So you can't say you have nothing to hide when you're hiding things from people. He also says he's a fake, made-up person. Yeah, here's the real tragedy of Tony Michaels. I don't think he knows who he is. And he's in his late 30s now.
And he's got 3 kids.
Yeah.
That are probably also confused as to who
They're
daddy is.
probably also grown by now, too.
Are they really?
Yeah. Stevie J says, someone is going to find one of those names on the offenders registry. I can feel it. Oh, boy. I wonder if we're done with the Tony Michaels revelations.
I kind of want to dig myself now. What have you gotten me into?
Like Rolling Stone says, no wonder he didn't remember Anthony or Chrissy. Technically, Tony Michaels never saw them before.
That's true. He's not that person.
That's true. He's Michael Sosnowski. Or Tony Sosnowski. Or Tony Michaels. Or Spicenberg. Or Carport
Or
Willie.
Michael Anthony Sosnowski.
Or Michael Anthony Sosnowski. We don't know.
Which one?
Yul Gibbons says he sold K2.
Beta!
It wasn't me. It was Patricia. That's what it was.
Joey says his prison workout plan was getting sucker punched and tasting cocoa-skinned dicks.
Oh, my God.
KF says, April looks lovely and cozy. I got my mean comments out this morning in the chat. Well,
Uh-oh. What did he say about me this morning?
I don't know. B Dabbler says, what a McPiece of shit. Joey says, having some fun here. He is an asshole. Fuck him. That's what everybody should do is with Tony Michaels is fuck him. Use his own little catchphrase, his hacky catchphrase.
What a cook.
Oh, Dennis says he should have stayed with the shed business. See, that's what I thought. He should have deleted the Tony Michaels show stuff and stuck with the shed business.
The most honest thing he could do. But that's not getting him famous enough because here he gets to talk to the great Stuttering John.
Oh, boy.
Imagine that.
God damn, man. Where's Marquise? There we go. Tony Michaels is no Conrad Thompson. Chat me up on this for a minute. You were building a shed during SummerSlam 1994, and the Ultimate Warrior returned. And, a lot of people said it was the Drizzling Shits, and the attendance was 16,000 people for a house of $975,000. Chat me up on this. What was the deal? Sorry, it's a wrestling podcast thing. You're giving him too much credit, calling him Spicenberg. He is the love child of Badger and Skinny Pete. Oh, yeah. He's definitely more Badger.
Oh, that, I can't unsee that now.
I know.
That's incredible, actually.
I know, but we can't make a fun name out of that.
I know.
Joey says, Chicky knows his sister / slam hog is on her period when she is only wearing one sock. What? Celeb Swap says, ironic that his last name is Sosnowski when he hates sauce in all forms. That is very ironic. Self-hatred going to an even deeper level. Hates his own name.
That's really weird. Wow. Self-deprecating at its finest.
Raymond says, he looks more like a Sosnowski than a Michaels. I agree. If I help, jogging while pooping says, if I help April across the street, would I get a merit badge?
Yes, and I would love your help. Please. I stumble sometimes.
Oh. Steven says, yeah, he acts like he's an open book. He does, and then he hides everything the minute he starts getting made fun of. Oh, he is so see-through. We're putting this video up tomorrow afternoon. I'm
Nugster.
Excited.
I like the Nugster.
The old Nugster. Andrew says, out of every show I listen to that I found through the John universe, this is definitely the only one that comes across like a normal morning show I used to listen to instead of a podcast. Thank you.
That's kinda cool.
I do like the professional delivery. There's one thing I've always hated about radio, and that it didn't understand how important podcasts and digital media was. And there's one thing I've always hated about podcasts is that they sounded like shit.
Yeah.
People didn't know how to broadcast because podcasting is still broadcasting. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these podcasters think it's cool to just talk like lazy fucks and not present and host for their audience and put on a show for them. They think it's cool to chat like we would if we were in the garage, man.
Can I tell you something? That's what I've noticed about listening to I've listened to a lot of clips from Tiger Belly lately about the Kalila Coon stuff.
Yeah.
And it really does sound kind of like, I don't think they're smoking pot or anything per se, but they kind of sound like they're just a bunch of stoners in a garage.
And I like Shuli and I like Bob Levy. I like all those guys. But the only thing I would say about the comedians podcasts like that is that they're all just their mics are EQ'd differently. The sound is all fucky. The video's all fucky. They're just kind of really trying to out comedian each other instead of do a show sometimes. I don't know.
Or if you go to the H3 podcast, it's a bunch of toad burps and non-charismatic characters.
Look, I'm the first one to shit on radio. Don't get me wrong. But there are certain points of professionalism in broadcasting that make your show sound better. And I do wish podcasters... They're kind of like, radio to them is like the old man who can't tell them shit, and they're like the young, cool kids. But at the same time, there was always something you could learn from those older cats. Even though they might not be hip and they might not, understand
you just said
shit.
Cats.
What? I like the word cats.
You're just precious to me.
I almost called you the N-word just now.
I see that as a term of endearment.
With an A.
Here.
With an A.
Okay.
Can I,
No.
May I?
Yes.
May I continue? After the show's over in a half hour and I prep the show.
You're playing Madden.
Do you think I could get the draft in Madden? Because I won the Super Bowl, then I just lost in the NFC Championship game.
It's okay.
I traded away Dalvin Cook because he's starting to get older, and I'm starting to rebuild.
It's fine. I've got.
And I want to get that third season started.
I can keep myself occupied.
I'd also like some pussy if I could. I'd like to play video games, prep a show, and get some fucking snatch, if I may.
I like that we're conducting our after show business on air.
Got to transition subs somehow. Marcus says, this is the greatest segment of Steel Toe I ever laid eyes on. Well, it's been a lot of fun for us.
That's fun.
This has been a great time.
This has been the best part of my day, so thank you for being here.
Let's continue on. Andrea Sosnowski says, my husband did not sell K2 to Charles Baker before he tasted that homeless man's face. Also, please change your mind about the cream pie, April. So now we know who Andrea Sosnowski is a reference to.
That's very interesting. And is that his current wife, or is that the old one?
I have no idea. Not going to get into that part. I'm not going to hurt innocent people. Sonny says, agreed, the broadcasting sound of Aaron's voice and the topics covered got me hooked. Well, thanks, buddy.
You do have a lovely voice to listen to.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I can't speak for myself, but yours is
That's
good.
from years of listening to Howard Stern and Anthony Cumia. That's who I owe that to.
You owe your actual voice to Howard Stern.
Yes. He's my father. Yes,
You have
his
a lot of
Faja.
You have a lot of fathers.
I gotta say this. I watched. By the way, I gotta stop saying I've got to say this because I say it way too much. It's becoming a crutch.
That rhymed.
Thank you. We rewatched, and we didn't get all the way through it, but we rewatched Goldmember recently. Still a funny fucking movie, man.
I love all of those movies.
I really like the character Goldmember.
Yes.
I love him.
Save me from myself.
Austin Powers Faja. You know, Faja. His dad.
His Farger?
His Faja. Oh, his father. Yes, I have Dutch accent. Isn't that weird?
It is such a good movie.
Father.
I have a hard time, though, between Goldmember and The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Goldmember.
I usually like The Spy Who Shagged Me better.
I have to say, very rarely do I like the third movie in any trilogy more than the others.
To me,
Goldmember's my favorite out of
all
the
three of this, like the trilogy, all three of them are just dynamite.
Dude, I
Love
still, for my money, I still quote to this day, probably weekly, if not monthly. I go, and that for you is bad news bears, Walter Matthau. I just like that.
I do a lot of their quotes, but I can't ever come up with them on the spot. So, sorry.
D. Gulag says, is Artie Lang ever coming back? Artie and Anthony was great while it lasted. You know, if you ever want to use my Compound Media subscription and go watch those old Artie and Anthony, it just makes you wish that Artie would have gotten help and cleaned himself up.
Yeah.
Or at least gotten the heroin use to a manageable level because, man, even Artie in the grips of heroin addiction made that show so fucking funny. His story about his buddy Pepe Chimpers lambing it in Brazil is one of the funniest fucking stories of all time.
Artie, just shoot up once per show.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, he would show up a half hour late, but the next hour and a half would be fucking magic. It would be so goddamn good.
Yeah.
It's just like that Artie... the Artie Chris Hansen interview was so fucking funny.
I do like that one. We watched that here a lot. You know what else I sing a lot from the Austin Powers movies? Which one was it? The Daddy Wasn't There song.
That would be Goldmember.
Is it really? Maybe I like that better.
I like
Daddy Wasn't There.
I like when Chris Hansen said to Artie, and he goes, well, I'm not, well, then why would you invite me here? And Artie goes, I don't have anything to do with the guests. And then Chris Hansen goes, well, we're guests here, Artie goes, no. And then Anthony goes, no, he's the new co-host. And Chris Hansen goes, oh, yeah. And then Artie goes, yeah, don't you read Variety?
Do we now have to watch that clip again?
And then Anthony asked Chris Hansen where he was on 9/11, and Artie goes, what do you mean? He was fucking a kid.
It is such a good clip.
It is so good. Artie Lang, Chris Hansen. Yeah, this little 6-minute thing.
Look at him just slumped over.
Oh God,
and all
there's
that.
also our wholesome chat. Artie Lang and
look how pasty he is.
Artie! That's not comedy.
Here we go.
16 years ago today. Where were you? What were you do? You were obviously involved.
Fucking a kid.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Look at him. He's trashed on heroin. He's pale as fuck. He looks terrible. And he's just funny.
Out of nowhere, just fucking a kid.
Artie! That's not comedy. That's offensive.
Well, they're laughing.
Why would you say that?
Those heroes are laughing.
They're as weird as the rest of you.
They're heroes.
It's Hanson versus Predator. It's not.
I risked my life protecting
catching
children.
the people.
Artie.
He's protecting.
Everyone knows it's a joke. Look at the two of us. I got about a year.
Why do you wear your hat backwards, by the way?
Oh, because I'm a frontwards kind of a guy.
Yeah, well.
Why, is that a signal or something that I'm fucking a kid? Why do you ask that question?
He is dedicated
life.
show
This is NBC.
and part of his life to making sure children are safe.
Well, my friend is Jared from Subway. And some of us got railroaded.
Oh, my God.
So mark the clock right now.
It's too good. It really is.
Again, Artie late, high on heroin. Fucking funniest thing Compound Media's had.
I know.
I thought Gavin's show was hilarious. I thought Legion of Skanks was great.
There are some times where I would just kill to be surrounded by the people that Anthony Cumia has been surrounded by just for the laughs.
Artie Lang, if that show could have
memories.
worked, it would have been so good.
Yeah.
Last time that Chris Hansen came on the Anthony Cumia.
Oh my God! It's the Artie and Anthony show now.
Oh.
Hey, don't you read Variety?
Told me that. It certainly was in the New York Times.
What are we gonna do without you?
So you're
don't worry.
So you're playing.
I'm playing in the game.
Yeah.
Michigan State guys, all kinds of guys. It was a fundraiser for a thing that Curtis Grant.
Artie's nodding out right now.
He's not
He was at
okay.
the Tigers before he went to
The Yankees.
the Yankees. Subway man Jared is there.
Oh, God.
He's playing the game.
After he fucked the kids?
No. No. We did not know about that at that time. But I must tell you, I gave him the greatest pass.
You didn't know about
and he
that.
did a layup, and it's like I
okay.
should have just gone in with the ball and scored. It would have been able to score the game.
You know, he scored that night.
Oh,
You know, this is why I don't bring this stuff up.
Right?
This is exactly why I play it straight most of the
Oh
time.
my God,
You're a
Chris!
great straight man.
Chris, you're fantastic. I'm curious because this is the 16th anniversary of.
It is. So
9/11.
here's where.
So this was 2017.
Where were you at 9/11?
This was 2017. If Artie just could have hung in there, that would have been such a great fucking show.
Yeah.
Stevie J says, is that the libertarian guy on the left? Yeah, that's Dave Smith from the Legion of Skanks podcast.
And is he any good? I don't know much about him.
I like Dave. I don't think he's as funny as like Louis J. Gomez. And I think Louis is the funniest out of all three of the Legion of Skanks guys.
Sure.
But
I'm going to work on talking to that guy, too.
I think Dave is more into politics than comedy. I like Dave. I'd love to get, actually write down Dave Smith, Louis J. Gomez. I'd like to have
I got
both of
Louis
those guys
already.
on. Yeah, I like Louis. I like Dave Smith. But I think Dave is more into the politics than he is the comedy part of it, you know?
Which we're not.
Well,
It's still nice to
he's
talk to
probably
people.
closer to my views, I would say, but I just don't value
Sure,
my
I
views.
just-
That's why I'm not big into politics on the
Exactly,
show and
because-
shit. I just don't value what I think.
What do our political views really do for anybody?
Yeah. I don't, I just don't value what I think politically enough to be like, this is a show where we're going to give it to you straight. No, this is a show
Do
where
you
we're
know-
probably going to lie just to make a joke.
Politically, I'm just frustrated at this point.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
This one's called Wholesome Chat, Artie Lang and Anthony Cumia. Let's just check this one out for a little bit.
Occasionally, my mother listens.
Again, look, Artie
Artie.
is just a fucking mess.
His fingers don't look okay. Like, they look very puffy and weird.
Yeah, because he has diabetes and he's on heroin.
My God, dude.
My mother and sister listened. That was it. That was the ratings. People went down in followers. So Brennan does it, and I guess we're busting chops, and I thought I don't know what happened. But on Twitter, I was just goofing, and I see him at the cellar the next night, the Comedy Cellar. I'm following him, not easy to do. And he comes on stage, I go, hey, Kevin, he goes, and he gives me the hi-hat, which, of course, is like, you know.
Oh,
doesn't even look at me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It's like having a girlfriend. And again, I just watched him be so funny. Him and Attell are my two favorite guys.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked, but I think we're all right.
Yeah, I think so too. He does his.
It's not picking up. I was hoping it
No.
would be just funny right away.
That was just a little friendly banter.
Yeah, it was just a little friendly banter between the two of them. But yeah, if Artie could have kept it clean, that would have been great.
Or just a little cleaner.
Ryan says the Richard Lewis AA episode should be on vinyl. Oh, they had Richard Lewis on and was Artie a dick? Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Let's just celebrate this big heroin-addicted man-child for the rest of the show. I would absolutely love to.
We are 10 minutes into overtime, it looks like.
Are we really? Holy shit,
I
we're
know.
already 10 minutes into
I know
overtime.
I miss a little time on Mondays, but God, it goes fast.
Oh, my goodness. I do have Brendan Schaub. And I think, guys, can you help me out? Because I know my MMA to an extent, but sometimes it's hard to put names with faces. That's Frank Mir, correct?
One of these two is Frank Mir. The other, yes, I believe that's
Mir.
Frank Mir,
Okay.
and that is Jesse on Fire.
Now, did you know that just because you know what those two look like, or did you see something else with those two in it?
I have done both, actually.
You would have known that that's Frank Mir just from looking at him?
I got a little put onto them by Unique, actually. Because
Okay.
Unique was doing this thing where he's been in contact with this Jesse on Fire character, where Jesse on Fire was going to be in the presence of Brendan Schaub on this podcast, correct?
Yeah.
And then he was pretty much giving him a deal like, hey, I'm going to make Brendan talk about you while I'm on the podcast.
I don't know who Jesse on Fire is. What does he do?
I don't know.
Is he like an
He was
MMA
in
guy?
contact with Unique. That's all
Okay.
That's my introduction to him.
I do know Frank Mir, but I don't remember him being this big. So he must have gotten bigger as the years went on. But anyway, Frank Mir was on Brendan's show. And God damn it, I don't know if this is Frank Mir's fault or Brendan Schaub's fault. Because I'm not expecting Frank Mir to really know Brendan Schaub that well. I feel like Frank Mir was an MMA guy before Brendan Schaub came around.
I would think so.
In MMA and was, getting knocked out by everybody.
He looks older than Brendan.
Last time I saw Frank Mir, he was getting knocked out by Kubrat Pulev in a boxing match. And with no shame in that. Kubrat Pulev, I think, is still probably a top 15 heavyweight. And he got knocked out by him like 3 years ago. Well, Brendan was interviewing Frank Mir. And Frank should know that Brendan Schaub is incapable of having any discussions that's above a 8th grade level.
I know.
And
Brendan's like Christmas for me.
Yes, and Frank Mir decided that he would open up to Brendan about his painkiller addiction.
Oh.
Which Brendan doesn't know how to handle normal, human, serious conversations. He feels like he has to shoehorn a joke in. Brendan is an open micer. I know he does touring comedy shows and all of that stuff, but in skill-wise and experience-wise, he got the Joe Rogan blessing, so he got to jump the line.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of quality, when you watch him, Brendan's an open micer. That's all he is. And he might be better than that someday if he went back and started doing open mics and started working on actually becoming a comic instead of getting the Joe Rogan easy pass and going to the front of the line. So open micers have this, we call it open micer energy.
Yeah, yep.
Where
absolutely
you have to have a laugh all the time. You got to go in there and be a wacky class clown all the time. You can't just let things sit there for a little bit. I think that's why Brendan surrounds himself with Mark Harley, because it does make Brendan look smart.
Okay.
Mark is such
Maybe.
a dumb dip fuck that doesn't know how to be funny that he makes Brendan look better.
He has like the least amount of brain cells you need to operate.
So Brendan's an open micer, and I almost don't blame him for that because, again, he got the Joe Rogan easy pass. But he's talking to Frank Mir, and I watched this, and even I was embarrassed.
Probably wasn't the best idea. So.
Dude, one of my favorite moments ever from anyone's career was in yours when you kicked the pills and you said beforehand where you were like, I'm fucking bad, because I knew what that's like, and I was like, I could just see, I was like,
prescription pills.
So now Brendan feels left out of the conversation because these two are talking about their prescription pill problem.
Brendan has to absorb all the kratom shots so he can speak. He doesn't know about pills.
That's true. He needs to take all the happy hippo kratom so he can, the pink lemonade kratom shots, so he can think properly.
Like that's kind of struggled bad.
Yeah, I like myself. I remember looking at you in the interview.
You know what though? And
do you still have them?
What? No, I avoid them like the plague. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Brendan.
I know you're trying to do what you think is funny, Brendan, but the guy's trying to relay a story to you about how he kicked prescription pills and then went and fought. That's an interesting story that most listeners would love to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't help but get in your own way because you had to make a either a dumb fucking joke or you're just that stupid that you don't get it.
Did you hear what he said even before that question? He said, "Oh, I like them myself."
Yeah. Well,
that's
these
not
two,
the thing you say to the recovering pill addict.
These two were talking about kicking pills, so Brendan felt left out. Now, a host who's comfortable in his skill level and who knows how to do a good show will let those two keep going. I will admit this. I learned this, full credit, from Opie. And Opie actually forgot this lesson himself. Opie always said, I don't give a shit if two guys are off on the corner of the room being funny on our show because I'm going to get the credit anyway.
You're on the show.
It's my show.
Yeah.
Opie forgot that lesson later in his career, and it broke him.
Struggled bad.
Yeah, I like him myself. I remember looking at you in the interview.
You know what though? And
Do you still have them?
What? No, I avoid them like the plague.
Yeah, me too.
But I have surgeries and stuff, so I still.
See, he's trying to do like a joke, like, yeah, me too. Right? You fucking meathead. This is an interesting moment that people would love to hear from Frank Mir. But you feel uncomfortable because you got open micer energy, and you've got to try and joke your way out of it.
Everyone loves a recovery story, and he just can't stay out of the action for a second.
He can't stay out of the spotlight.
Yeah.
For 5 fucking seconds.
You're getting the credit, the cool stories on your show.
I still have a lot. I'd be lying to you to say that I haven't.
And now look at Brendan dropped his chin and got all sad because his joke went nowhere, and now they're just having the conversation without him. He's embarrassed now, which is nice.
He looks unwell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
But it's a battle constantly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because also too, I live in a world where surgeries, injuries. You have a doctor go, hey man, like if you want to sleep tonight, you know what I mean? Like what are you gonna do?
We just replaced your neck.
Yeah, or you know what I mean? Go to Disneyland with the kids. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there going, well, I can.
You know what else is funny? Frank, I think, kind of caught on to what a dipshit Brendan is. Notice he's only looking at Jesse while he talks about this.
Yeah, I did pick up on that.
Frank is like, this fucking idiot. Here, I'll talk to you.
His whole body language is shifted away from Brendan.
Yeah.
You know,
be miserable
I don't
and walk around the stupid park.
Wheelchair pushing.
He's now ignoring Brendan. By the end of this clip, he's fucking ignoring Brendan Schaub because he's like, this retarded 18-year-old kid is just going to keep saying dumb shit all the time.
Brendan literally went from saying, oh, I love those pills too. Do you still have them? No, dude, I can't have them.
No, what part of I'm a pill addict don't you understand,
like,
you open mic hack?
I avoid them like the plague. Oh, yeah, me too. I don't like them anymore.
Then tried to do a funny joke. Like, oh.
After you just said you love them.
It's your neck.
Yeah, or you know what I mean? Go to Disneyland with the kids. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there going, well, I can, you know.
Be miserable and walk
want
around the stupid park.
Wheelchair pushing me around. I refuse to be in a scooter. So then I'm sitting there like on a cane. I'm sitting there going, and then my personality, then it's like, well, I'm a miserable asshole right now.
So there you go. Brendan kept trying to interject himself when all he needed to do was back off and let Frank Mir talk.
Just let the story unfold.
Yeah, he just couldn't do it. Rupert, thank you for the $4.99. He says, look, April is dressed up for Halloween. She's going to be the big orange pumpkin from Snoopy.
Thank you, Rupert. Thank you.
Rupert says, I do have to apologize to April. I've been very mean. I like you. It's the only reason I picked
I like you too, Rupert. It's fine.
They're saying Mir fought Lesnar. Oh, no, I'm aware of that. I was a big Brock Lesnar fan. He fought Lesnar twice. Beat Lesnar in Lesnar's second UFC fight ever. And then when Lesnar won the title, he then defended it against Mir and beat the living shit out of him. So there is that.
Yeah.
Jeep ZJ says Mir and that Jesse guy are also terrible, by the way. Everything I've seen of Frank Mir, I've been okay with him.
I don't know anything about Jesse on Fire except that he made promises to Unique, and I don't know if he delivered on them.
Frank would demolish Brendan. Yeah, even like at his advanced age, like Frank Mir still looks like a fucking problem. He's cranky from not being on pills.
Right. But like he said, like I've had to have surgeries and shit, and do you know how hard that is? Because I've had surgeries too. They fucking just hand you any drug that works for you. Percocets, all that shit.
It's got to be hard for an addict because you have to not only like stay away from pills, but after you have something like that, you have to actively say no.
Yeah,
because they'll just give it to you as a default.
I've never found myself to be that kind of person, but I could understand how pills could be addictive. I know how good they make you feel. I think the only thing I'm addicted to is coffee, really. That's it.
You think you're addicted?
Oh.
Caffeine.
Is that even a question?
Caffeine. Yeah.
It's not even about just the caffeine. That's like a process. Like I enjoy having my morning coffee. That's absolutely an addiction.
I usually really, really love doing Brendan Schaub stuff and feel like I could talk about it forever. But after all of our Tony Michaels stuff, everything else just seems
lackluster.
Yeah, it just seems like the party ended and now we're trying to keep drinking, but we're getting really sleepy.
It's that like small little group of your friends left and you're all drunk and ready for bed, but you don't want to be the first one to go to bed.
Oops, sorry guys.
Hey.
Because I just want like that Tony Michaels stuff was so good. And it's one of those things where it went exactly like I wanted it to go. And that always feels nice.
Yeah.
By the way, totally expecting a text from Carl when we put out our Tony Michaels stuff tomorrow.
Aaron
Carl will be saying,
He's
great
having-
job on Chicky McNugs.
An extramarital affair with Carl.
Can we see if Dabblers Anonymous has acquiesced to my request of Spicenberg?
Sure. We're in overtime.
Chad Zumach claims Stuttering John is an idiot. Oh, Chad just could not avoid.
That guy has like a cope for everything, I feel. And it just really almost hurts me how hard he's really trying to be in the cool kid group, but he's tried so hard that he's off-putting to everyone.
We have some Chad clips for tomorrow's show.
I know, I heard.
And Frank wrote me today and said, yeah, he went in on all of us again, and then even mentioned you, but we're not the show from Minnesota anymore that he claims to know nothing about, but he knows we're married and that the show is in Minnesota. Now he says North Dakota, even though he and I went back and forth on Twitter and I smacked him around a bunch the last couple days. Now he's trying even harder to like not know, to try to do the Michael Sosnowski thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's
so
really
he switched
bad.
our states on us.
Oh, I like Stuttering John's fingernails. Why didn't we do this one? We tried to combine the catchphrases. He goes, drive in, drive out, K2.
We did miss that one.
That's a really good one.
Thank you, Mr. John's fingernails.
Stevie J says, that sweater says, I'm securely married and just not trying anymore.
I'm never wearing this again. That's very hurtful.
You didn't think that was good?
I refuse. Look at how
What?
cool the back of the sweater is and everything. You guys.
You're going to defend the fuck out of that sweater, aren't you? You're leaning in. Fuck
I
these
love
guys.
this sweater. I just got it from a secondhand store and it was $8 and cozy and I loved it. And somebody did have a good point. I should have worn my turquoise jewelry with this one. I had a necklace and a bracelet and I missed that opportunity.
Jeep ZJ renewing his membership for a third month. Thank you. We're going to start $50 ahead tomorrow evening and $45 ahead tomorrow morning. Thank you guys very much for your support tonight. It's a cool sweater. I like that sweater. April, that sweater is amazing. It's a pumpkin spice sweater. It looks like the rug in The Shining. I like it, actually. April is adorable. She got it on an Indian reservation, another person says. Rusty Grammer calling you Comanche April. Indian Outlaw April.
I don't...
Derek
hey.
from Texas says, I want April. They're saying the previous owner was in Counting Crows.
Oh, no. There is an actual picture that exists of me somewhere in an actual Indian outfit, and I got definitely raked over the coals for that one.
Yeah.
That's a picture I hope never resurfaces for sure.
All right, guys, here's what I have. I have two clips. Maybe we can get them both in because we got 9 minutes left. I've got Chad Zumach wanting to do Stuttering John stuff, and I've got a dabbler calling into Kumia's show today. Which would you guys rather have? April, I'm going to let you have an opinion.
What was the
as
first
well.
one again?
Chad Zumach trying to get in on the Stuttering John stuff, and a dabbler calling into Kumia's show.
God, that's a toss-up. You kind of said we have Chad stuff for tomorrow, though.
We do.
So maybe we do the dabbler caller?
All right, we'll see dabbler calling into Kumia.
And before I jump, I know you hate when people hang on longer than they should, and I'm not going to do that. But I just got to give you, I don't know if you're going to get to this today, but I was in the rabbit hole this weekend with all the Stuttering John shit on Uncle Rico, and you guys going back and forth on Twitter. And this guy is the biggest lunatic I've ever met in my life, or ever seen in my life. I'm going to talk about that at some point. But
he snapped. He
it was
fucking
just,
snapped.
I could not get off my computer. Every time it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I was watching those.
Anthony really has had it with this guy. Anthony really wants to get off the phone.
This might be the most exhausted I've seen him.
I probably like this guy, whoever it is, too. But Anthony's just like ready to go to the next thing on the show.
You know, old Who Are These Podcasts and the Uncle Ricos, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
This guy's a mental patient
It's
in real time.
Yeah, he really is. We're watching the complete breakdown of Stuttering John Melendez. Thank you, man.
So that was
wow,
one of the dabblers calling in. Now let's go to Zumach. I told you both these would be pretty quick. Zumach wants to get in.
Look at this guy
on the Stuttering John stuff, and we'll have more Michaels tomorrow night. But here's, Zumach tomorrow night.
Aaron has Tony on the brain.
They're interchangeable, the two of them. They're the same guy.
I know, they do behave the same.
Are you getting? I think we mentioned it last week, but are you getting Stuttering John'd out?
It's just like he stinks. It's not, I mean,
Listen, he's a moron. He's a complete idiot. And I think Shuli and Levy do the best job covering that. But it's just like when you have like 8 people doing it, it's just like, all right, well, you got one guy who's doing it really well and everyone else is not that good. It's just like, you're done.
I think he likes Uncle Rico. I'll tell you why. Because Uncle Rico doesn't make fun of him. He doesn't mention Anthony does a great job, but he won't mention that because Anthony makes fun of him. Won't mention us because we make fun of him. Won't mention Carl because Carl makes fun of him. So Chad is this dishonest guy who can not just admit that he's a hurt-feelinged little boy that doesn't like it when people tease him, and then instead goes, oh, no, only Uncle Rico does it well. It's like, really? Why are all of us doing well then, Chad? Why are we all doing better than you?
I also think he tries to suck people's dicks that are on Compound Media
until they make fun of him. Now he's at war with Compound Media.
He wants to be in that crowd.
Right.
He's the little boy in 3rd grade that's picking on the girl that he likes to be mean because he wants her attention.
Right. And the girl won't give him the attention because she thinks he's ugly. So then he lashes out. He really has that incel energy.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I really like that girl. And she's like, oh, I'm not interested. She's like, fuck you, you fucking lesbian. You fucking, I hate you.
You're fucking fat.
You're fat and stupid and you're gay.
No one will ever love you.
We had a fun podcast a few weeks ago talking about it. And I'm like, okay, I think we're good with Stuttering John.
No, bullshit, you fucking liar, whoever you are. Chad, you said you were thinking you were going to get in on the John stuff. Then all of us made fun of you and called you out for what you are. And we called you John 2.0 and you backed out and then you started making fun of us. So easy there, Zumak. Easy there, cool kid in high school. Easy there, fucking Greg Brady. Take it down a notch, pal.
We told the true story. John freaked out on me. I go, he's a fucking psycho. He stinks. And by the way, he's a terrible comic and he was the luckiest guy in show business. I told the story and I was done with it. I didn't create my whole Patreon over it.
Not true. Oh, so now he thinks Shuli does a great job with it, but now he's kind of taking a little shot there at Shuli for having a Patreon over it.
It's not what my whole Patreon's about.
Chad, you can't even stick around. Like, you can't even stick to your main point of complimenting someone and then shitting on them. You can't even separate it by 60 seconds.
He gets so close to just being a complimentary dude.
So we make our living on YouTube, but we put our audio shows up on Patreon, and we just kind of put it up because some people wanted it. It doesn't really, we're not doing it to support ourselves. It's just something as a service to the audience.
It's a perk.
And it has like 40-some people.
Mm-hmm.
Chad does his Patreon is like, this needs to boost me. This needs to get me up there. 80 people. His YouTube channel is like 1,000 subs, and his videos get like a few hundred views.
That's not reliable.
It's really bad. So, Chad, before you try to big time our show or you try to big time anyone else, just remember, I'm bigger than you, Chad. And that's probably what bothers you the most.
And, good on Shuli. Shuli's a great guy.
On their niche.
Bob Levy's a good guy. Go make your money. But eventually things get played out. And that's what.
So many buts.
I know. This guy is just
he's so good, but this, and this.
He's such a dishonest piece of shit.
God, I could love him so much, but he's just fat and lazy and doesn't love me back.
He's so dishonest. Marquise writes, Aaron, why can't you give Chad some credit once in a while? I mean, I would if he would do something worthy of credit instead of just stalk Chrissy and Frank and harass Anthony.
I'm kind of hoping that Marquise strikes me as someone who's being sarcastic when he's asking that.
I love how he sits there, and he is. But I love how Chad sits there and goes, I'm funnier than Chrissy, I'm funnier than Gino, I'm funnier than all these people. Really? If you're so much funnier than all these people, why don't they ever ask you to be part of their stuff? Chad.
Marquise also said that I seem to have a nice shit dumper.
It's very sweet of you. That's actually very nice.
I've actually never heard it put that way.
It's very sweet. It's like one of the sweetest things I've ever heard. Your friend Paul says he was cool in high school, guys. You're right. I'm sorry. I really did forget about that.
Were you cool in high school?
I was middling.
Aaron was the guy who got the
I was middling
disabled chick.
I was middling in high school the way Chad's middling in comedy right now. There.
I think I was very middling in high school too. I was not part of the cool kids group I was kind of part of all the nerds. I was a band kid.
Patrick says, don't worry, April. Bill Cosby wore stupid sweaters, and he got all kinds of action. It's true.
I have to ask you a question now.
What?
There's been a lot of comments on this sweater.
Oh, did you get made insecure about your sweater?
No, I'm not. I still love my sweater. But
Yep.
do you love the sweater?
I like that sweater.
Yeah, because I actually asked Aaron's opinion on almost all my clothes. I'm like, okay, I only want to wear this if you like it. He liked it.
I did like it.
So I kept it.
Because I figured no one would ever take her away from me.
It's my $8 win. It was wonderful.
Very good.
Wait,
All right.
what?
What?
Are you saying?
What did I say?
Are you saying nobody would want me in my sweater?
I was really hoping you would miss that and everyone else would catch it.
Aw.
I was really hoping. Darn.
It's okay. Nobody wants me. I'm the devil, actually.
It's a Cosby sweater. Name the movie. Name the movie, everybody. I want to play a quick Trump clip because I thought this was really funny, and then we'll take off for the night.
I kind of miss him.
You know, one thing about Donald Trump that you can say is he's remarkably humble.
That is definitely at the top of my list of how I would describe Donald Trump.
Donald Trump had a rally over the weekend, and he was really, really humble about the future of the country and his involvement. Check it out.
Country is being destroyed. I ran twice, I won twice, and did much better the second time than I did the first. Getting millions more votes in 2020 than we got in 2016. And likewise, getting more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country by far. And now, in order to make our country successful, safe, and glorious again, I will probably have to do it again.
Wow, to rescue the country, he might have to do it again. Wow, Donald.
And the crowd goes wild.
Don, that's so generous of you.
Okay.
And honestly, shit's so fucked up now. I want DeSantis, but I'd vote for him.
I voted for Trump both times.
I voted
the
for him
second
one
time was a
time.
little more hesitantly for sure, but if we could just get Grandpa Biden out of office.
I just need that guy out. Yeah, I don't
that
really
guy
care who it
is not only just he's not like just disliked by me in millions, I feel. He's like scaring me.
I'm not the biggest Trump
There's
guy in the
something
world,
wrong
but I'll
there.
honestly do anything
Can we just-
other than Biden.
Can we just get you know
How about
what?
Dave Smith?
I will vote for whoever the fuck stops spending money in Ukraine and gets the fucking inflation and gas prices down over here. That is it. I don't care which party you're in. That's
All right.
it.
All right, guys. Washing my hands of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. We'll cut out the Tony Michaels stuff for tomorrow's clip. April, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all that stuff. We appreciate it. Tell everybody about the show. And thank you to Matthew S. for knocking out our goal damn near single-handedly. April, talk to you later. Talk to you tomorrow morning. You'll be on the morning show tomorrow.
Guys, I will not wear this sweater tomorrow.
All right. Guys, we will talk to you at 6 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning. Take it easy.